Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second game of Protectors of Light, our fight-centered anime game. Today, we have the three usual players playing their Inquisitors and deciding what they are going to do with this weird relic that they're now charged with. That they've been charged with investigating. So, we find your characters once again in the inside of the small church, barely bigger than than a chapel from where when it comes to uh, to size. For you're from a place that is the center of this religion, so you're used to like an extravagant size and architecture. Um, but you still feel somewhat at home in the house of the Lord, and together you're discussing what to do with this cross. You are aware that a lot of the villagers are standing outside of the door, awaiting with a lot of expectation your decision to know if they will keep their what they've been the relic they've been praying to, or if it will be taken away. What do you do?
Well, I believe that the Inquisition sent us to retrieve it, correct?
You were sent to investigate it.
Ah, I see. Well, it is a magical relic, so I believe that it would be best in the hands of the Inquisition, not in the middle of a town where a town was raided to get this artifact.
That's what I was thinking. It being here just puts the people at risk.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I think that we need to paint the picture, not that the Inquisition is going to take it because it's safer in their hands. I think we should paint it in a picture that we're going to take it because if it remains here, they will be continuously attacked by a number of powerful creatures and monsters and evil demons that will destroy the town in order to get it. So to save the town and keep them safe, we must remove the object of evil's interest.
Exactly.
All right. Um, is there? Do any of you bring up the idea of destroying it, which the Inquisition does sometimes, to artifacts, or is this, or are you simply going to unanimously decide to take it with you?
Yeah, I don't know enough about it.
I don't think any of us are good enough at occult religion to know when is the proper time to destroy an artifact. This very well might be a relic.
Mm,
I think it's a greater victory for us to return it to the Inquisition to give them the opportunity to make the decision rather
I
than simply
agree.
telling them that we destroyed it, which would still be okay, but I don't think it would be as successful as if we returned it to them.
Agreed.
All right. In at yeah, you hear the quiet footsteps of the priest coming towards you. His head bowed, and he asks, my lords, have you is lords appropriate for the Inquisition? I can't. Um, I don't know. It's been a long. We don't receive a lot of people of your rank here, so I'm unused to knowing how to address you. I was only I was trained by another priest who didn't necessarily tell me all about ecclesiastical manners. I apologize.
What would be the correct surname or term?
You're you're technically you're technically
Officer?
warrior priests. So you
I would think
uh,
officer would be the closest, right? Because lords, no.
yeah, lords is for nobility, but people do call you father every now and then, so, like as
Okay.
if you were a priest.
Okay,
Um,
so officer or father would likely be either one.
Yeah. On the other, no, I think Inquisitor is more perfect because it's also gender neutral, since there are since there are like
Female.
it's not like priests who are only dudes who are only called father. So yeah, I think inquisitors is the
Okay.
appropriate. Yeah.
Just inquisitors, good priest.
Yes. Uh, I'm sorry to disturb you while you're talking, but the people are restless, and they a lot are worried. Uh, uh, some are related by the protection you brought us, but some are scared for what uh, troubles this object might bring.
They ought to be scared. That's why we're taking it with us.
Oh, praise the Lord! I believe you made the right decision. And like he signs himself. Like I don't know what's it called when you like touch your shoulders and your forehead to do the sign of
Oh,
the cross.
the cross.
Yeah, he makes the sign of the cross, and he says, um, uh, let his will be done. Um, and he's gonna go outside and announce it to his flock. What do your characters do?
Al's picking up the cross and strapping it to his back.
I would like to ask if we have had any time to rest between now and then, or if this is directly after.
That is
This
a
is
good point.
this is directly after. You have time. You've had time to get the spider and plant goo off of your armors to be a bit more presentable, but
Excellent.
you haven't had like an hour to recover fatigue or ki yet.
Gotcha.
If you spent it.
Okay. So yeah. All good. How late is it?
Um, it's it's about 4 in the afternoon. You can still travel some today if you want to set off now.
No, I would suggest that we do a full day travel, not a part day travel. We want to remain outside of evil as long as we can. So if we can remain off the road during the night, that would be ideal. Or as few nights as possible would be ideal.
Right? Okay.
So yeah, Al
I'm
is
good with this.
keeping it strapped to his back the whole time. He's
So
keeping it covered with his cloak, by the way.
okay. So it's like strapped to your back, but underneath your cloak so as to not attract any attention, right?
Correct.
More than you already do by just
Being 15 feet tall?
yeah,
Yes.
being 15 feet tall. Okay. Where are your characters going to be staying for the night then?
We technically have a week's worth of rent at Owa's Inn.
Yeah.
Correct.
I figured that's probably the place.
Okay. All right. You as you make your way outside of the church and towards the inn, a lot of you see a lot of villagers looking at you with either a deep respect or what seems to be fear. They have seen you fight and destroy an entire army of creatures that would have just exterminated them, and you feel as if those people will never see members of the Inquisition the same way again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You all right. So while okay. So real quick to answer your question, James. Can you roll for? Are you going to
It's
take
during the
care of it
night.
a bit?
It's during the night.
All right.
I just wanted to ask. By the way, you can actually whisper me by doing this.
Yeah, I know how to take care of this. So yeah, can you roll for the skill that you want to use? And do you rest during the night, or do you stay, or do you pull an all-nighter to repair your?
Oh
I'm
no,
gonna
I
say
read.
armor. You rest? Okay, so you're going to have a big penalty to your roll because you won't have a lot of time spent on
How
this.
much?
Let's see. If you spend just 1 hour, you have a minus 60. So we're going to say that you only have time to spend 1 hour before you leave.
Okay.
In order to rest. So go ahead and roll at minus 60. The base difficulty is 140.
Jeez,
Okay.
you have no idea how many times that took me to fix.
Okay. So you're able to repair 40 life points worth.
Okay, 40
Okay.
life points worth.
Yeah. 43 to be precise.
43, awesome.
All right. The other now we're jumping off. Jumping a bit ahead of time, but basically during the night there's going to be an hour when you hear the sound of somebody making repairs on something metallic like armor. Um, from the room from which that Roy and Al share. But before we get there, yeah, your characters are making your way to the inn. Um, do you basically do you do anything in regards to the villagers as you leave the church with their cross with the crosses?
Are everyone grouped up outside of the church?
Yes.
Okay.
The children, there are a couple of children present with their parents, like mm, like trying to answer their curiosity, but also like be careful that they don't hear anything like that's too bloody about the fight that just happened.
Gotcha. Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The foolish despise wisdom as well as doctrine. We use the power that God gives us, the will of God, to fight the evil that lurks in the darkness. We mean no harm to those who follow the will, only those who go against. You have our word as the Inquisition that we will always be ready to serve and protect against the darkness that is everlasting.
They some of them look reassured and like I think Oba is also present. And she asks, says are we to expect that this darkness will come back and attack us again? We cannot hold them off all with the forces we have.
Based off of the path that they took, they wanted the crystal, so no, they will not attack.
Oh, praise the Lord! And she bows.
We
Um,
also found what we believe was the controller of such creatures, so we took that out as well.
Okay. By the way, part of the job of the Inquisition is to try to limit the amount of supernatural knowledge that people have in general.
Okay.
I'm just saying because you mentioned a controller that might not be necessarily something that the Inquisition wants people
Okay.
to be aware of, but it's fine. Like it depends on the circumstances.
Basically, what could be inferred? Sorry, Jesus. Inferred is a commander,
Yeah, yeah.
those who control. So that was
That
kind of what
that
I was leading to.
that was subtle enough. So yeah. Um. Okay. Anybody else does anything?
If I did anything, it would probably just make them nervous.
True.
I'm just making all that poison we talked about last game that I got from the creature.
You're just what?
Making all the poison that we talked about gathering from that creature last time and able
Yep.
to convert it into poison.
Yep. Did you write down the effects and the poison resistance necessary?
I did not write that down, but I do recall asking for a handout so that you could copy paste that on there.
All right.
I can do it.
I've got it. Just give me 1 second. I don't remember that, and I'm sorry I didn't take care of it.
Well, I'm sure we won't run into anything I'll need to use it on.
Hopefully.
So, so you're taking care of like preparing that that poison. Do you test its efficiency on like
The villager.
on
Just
on
fucking, hey, can you come
Oba?
here?
there's also guys, there's also like creatures in the woods and
Squirrels and shit.
yeah, and what are they called? Farm
Deer.
animals as well.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes, but I don't really want to waste a dose of it on a farm animal.
True.
I trust my abilities. I know how to make it. I made it. And we'll use it, and it'll be fine, I think.
If it fucks me over, it fucks me over, but I'm not wasting a dose. Just
All right.
Also, Luca had mentioned not minding having something that was coated in it. So, does it need to be sealed and then applied and used within a short period of time? Is that how that goes?
It doesn't need to be used in a short period of time, but it's if he puts it on his weapon, it's and like it could be that it loses efficiency after like
X amount of hits.
no, like
Over
it's
time.
yeah, like over time, like if you keep it on your weapon and your weapon's in your scabbard for like a week, it might like age basically. The substance might not be as strong.
Sure.
Gotcha.
So I will do what I can to show him exactly how he wants to apply it when he's going to apply it.
All right.
Roll your poison. Rolls 1. Fuck!
I have okay poison resistance. This is fine.
Jeff, did you write down how many doses of each poison you had, or not?
I'm looking back through the chat. I think we wrote it down when you told me how much we got.
Okay.
I believe it's like, I think it's just like you got like 3 of everything. I think you
No,
might have gotten a 2 dose, but
I think you got 9 of each, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
like, sure, that's 11. Oh, yeah, that's right, because you got 3 successes. And it was 3 each, I think. That's
Sounds
right.
good.
All right. Okay, and the spores. Okay, so here's your poisons handout. The it's the spores and the indigo poison that are now available to you in 9 doses each. Okay, yeah.
And also the one I got from the creature.
Yes, indigo poison. It's the first one that's described in the poisons. Like it's the first line. Basically, it's the indigo poison works in a much simpler way. It's through blood contact, so you have to put it on a weapon. It's the resistance check of 100, and if someone fails, they're completely paralyzed.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Very dangerous, though.
Yep.
May I ask you? Hold on, this might be in there. I was going to ask, like, how long the paralysis lasts. What's the duration?
How long the what now?
How long is the duration of the poison?
Oh, it's so for the spores, it's a couple of hours. But for the let's see. But the indigo poison, it doesn't say how long someone would stay. So I think they'd be like they'd be paralyzed for an hour or something. Is what I'd say.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, what are your characters going to do now? Okay. Yeah. So you have to prepare the poison during the night. You put it in like vials or that have like enough of the dosage to like to separate it into different doses. You and you're prepared to use them. Like you get the vials, you get the uh, uh, all of the equipment that you need, like from the villagers, and yeah, you're good to go. When the sun rises the next day, your characters wake up at the crack of dawn. After all, you've had this intense military training, and you do you set off immediately?
Does anyone have Deep Sleeper?
It's
That doesn't make you sleep longer.
No, it would just be the first time in any of my games that no one has had Deep Sleeper.
I don't have deep sleeper.
Very good.
And I don't think Jeff has either.
Any.
All right. So, as you emerge from the inn, fully armored, fully prepared for your journey, and you set off into the sunrise. You see that a couple of villagers are awake and watch you depart. Oba, whose sleep schedule is old people's sleep schedule, or they sleep a very short amount of hours in general, and a priest who has like bags under his eyes as if he didn't sleep the entire night because of the worry he had. Okay, you start to travel. Do you want to head back directly to Albidion, the basically uh, the headquarters of the Inquisition, or is there anything else you want to investigate in the region around the capital before you go?
My mission is to the Inquisition.
Okay.
I don't know that we've heard of anything else of the Inquisition's interest in the vicinity. I think it would probably be wise to go straight home.
All right. So,
I concur.
okay. All right. You start to head away from the capital, where most of the and you make your way across the land. So you're starting to make your way out of the Principality of Abel, that's administered directly by the Empress, and towards the Lucretia, which stands between your way and the and the Dominion. You travel for a couple of days, occasionally mostly resting away from villages to avoid attracting to avoid attracting danger onto people. But every now and then you find like shelter either in an inn and that's isolated, or in abandoned houses, basically. It's it's 5 days into your journey that you find yourselves at this farm that is completely abandoned, and that is far away from the nearest village. It's the sun is setting down as you find yourselves in this clearing, and yeah, there isn't a soul in sight. What do you do?
It's been a few nights, right?
Yes, it's been you've been traveling for 5 days now.
Repairing armor.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna say that you get one roll each night, and every point above 140 is what you repair.
Every point above what?
140
Oh,
is a life point you repair.
okay.
Hmm.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Wow, that's actually really nice. I need to write that down somewhere.
Yeah.
But
Um. Okay. So, um, the stars are starting to show, and the crescent moon is making its way upwards in the sky. But there's also some clouds in the distance that indicate it's very likely to rain during this night. So, what do you do?
Storms aren't good to
investigate.
travel in.
Yeah, sadly.
How, like, I guess I wouldn't really know. I don't have any sort of knowledge science. I'd just say it's on its way. We'd probably better prepare now.
I would like to go out into the surrounding little bits of the wooded area and such,
Mm-hmm.
and just try and set some simple traps up.
Okay.
Uh, Mostly just like, set up something that's going to make a lot of noise, kind of a thing. I'm not necessarily looking to build pit traps or anything. More alert type traps.
Okay. Is there any more complex trap that you'd like to set up? Something that you can activate in case there is a problem at any point. Like, I don't know, setting up tying up a rope against a tree so that like you can pull the rope and trip someone, or like a sort of yeah, sort of a rope-based immobilization trap at all, or just something to make noise?
Yeah, I would like to pick a spot, like I'm thinking maybe over here,
Mm-hmm.
where I can set up a trap that, if run through, it'll trigger. And so, like, if someone's chasing me, I can get them right behind me, and I'll run through, tripping the trap, and something will be attached in the window that will fly out and hit them, like uh, something like a giant iron pod or something like that.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and roll for. I think it's not going to be trap lore. It's going to be trap. Is that what the skill is called?
Oh, I saw trap lore. I didn't see trap. I thought it was
Yeah, yeah.
all.
No, it's trap lore. It's trap lore. That's what you
Okay.
gotta.
Yep. Okay. There you go.
Jumper is a good skill.
Is there any modifier for spending longer time on it, or is it just still a straight roll?
Um. t- t- t-
Probably you get bonuses for spending more
uh,
time or
yeah.
spending less time.
Okay. It's okay. Setting up target. Yep. Yeah. Since you take 1 hour, it's going to take you about an hour to set up everything around the house. You're going to get no modifier. You don't get any penalties or bonuses.
Okay.
So, oh, you're 1 point from um, you're 1 point away from a certain difficulty. That's a shame. Um, hmm. So, let me just have a quick look at the rules. It's not, the trapdoor isn't necessarily something that's used very often in this game, but I'm glad that you're using it. It's giving us an opportunity. Okay, so you have a moderate success setting up the trap, which means that it's going to be a moderate is going to be a level 30 trap. Um, um, right. The trap's level of concealment is the difficulty of the notice check that characters need to pass in order to discover the trap's existence or understand its dynamics. Using search will lower the difficulty by 1 level. Okay. Okay. This difficulty depends on the level of the trap, which is an indication of how well built or designed the device is. A level 40 trap represents a concealment and compensates a level of difficult. So, um, so it gets bumped by 2 levels, which means it's going to be very difficult um, to spot. Okay, just give me 1 second to check this. It would require a check of very difficult is, I believe, 140 or 180. Yeah, 140. So somebody needs to roll up 140 to be able to perceive that the trap is there when you're and to be able to dodge it or go up against an attack worth of 140, which can surprise them. Okay.
Okay. And I make sure that they both know exactly where it is, so they don't, stumble
Set it
through
off by accident.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And then of course the other traps I just set around outside the alert traps.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be a difficulty of 140 for everything. It's just that you've got some of them that you've got one of them that you need to activate, but that does damage, and you've got the other ones that are automatically going to trigger to if anybody comes within the perimeter.
Okay.
Okay. So what is what about the other characters? What is Luca doing, for example?
Luca does not have much to prepare, though if we are going to bed, he probably will be unarmored and maintaining his weaponry.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, you don't need to make any rules for this, but yeah, you have some like mud coated on your shoes from traveling all day, and you have to travel in armor because you never know when something might happen.
Yes.
So, the rain starts to pour around you, and you find shelter inside of this farm. Um, there isn't much food other than bread that is long stale, but you do find enough fire to start a fire in the fireplace, and yeah, the place seems a little bit. It seems comfortable for an abandoned place, basically.
I also want to test the structural integrity of the floor on the second floor and of these roofs in case we need to maneuver around out there. I don't want to discover any flaws while running after or being chased by something.
Okay, I think there's going to be like damage on the roof, like towards the other side, and there's a bit of water pouring in, but the rest of the structure is sound enough to walk on. The roof though might crumble if anybody walks on it if you don't have the key power to like cancel your weight. Yeah.
Or if you're 15 feet tall and made out of metal.
Yeah, that too. I don't think. Okay, I think that the stairs start to creak an enormous amount as soon as Al makes his way on top of them because they're made.
I'm smart. Al's not gonna go upstairs unless they're like stone stairs.
All right. So Al is going to be like staying under this roof, crouched to be able to be under the straw roof. Okay. Everybody else is inside though.
I am.
Okay.
So my characters be out here. I'm inside the place. The town center for major vampires.
So, do your characters usually have usually do rounds when when you're at night in the woods. But right now you have the safety of the traps and of the building around you. So do you let your guard down for tonight, or do you stay inquisitive?
Not
we
one day
always
in
have
my
a
life.
watch. No, we always have a watch.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind taking first.
All right. Um. Okay.
Also, I'm still control of Little Goblin Red Man.
Oh, you're controlling the wrong character.
Yeah,
Oh. Yeah, my bad.
that's okay. I like the Little Goblin Red Man, but he doesn't look anything like Luca.
Yeah. Uh.
Make him jump over the waterfall there.
Uh.
Swimming! Oh no, don't go that way. Oh, that's a waterfall?
I thought it looks like it's a slope going down, at least.
It does look like a slope.
Okay. Wait. Do you have control over him now?
Maybe this is a little mudslide right here.
Yeah. Basically, it's more of a trail, really. Uh.
A trail of death.
Okay.
I glare at it angrily.
All right. So I'm sorry about this. I didn't. I think I misunderstood what you said in the previous game concerning this. So concerning which of your who was controlling which character and stuff. I'm going to switch the life point spaces and stuff like this. This is 190 and 90.
Oh, hey, it's me!
All right. Yeah, you should have
Wait,
control
we've
of the
switched.
proper tokens
Have
now.
you? Have we switched? Yeah, we've switched, right?
Yes, and now I now know how much HP you have.
You switched us somehow. I
Yeah.
have his character.
Um.
I think these were what we were originally supposed to control. It's just that we wound up switched.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
It's my
that
bad,
fits
but
my character more so
yeah, it's
than that doesn't.
that's why. Okay. Yeah. I finished switching out your stats on the
Oh.
tokens, which should be accurate to your life points and such.
Thank you, it is.
All right. So Luca, you start to take the um the first shift. Can you roll for what's it called? Uh, uh, v- uh, it's called vigilance. It's in French. It's notice. Can you roll for notice, please? Um, I'm gonna make some rolls on my own. Oh, that's automatic pass. Unless if I roll a 1. No, I didn't roll a 1. We're good. And you got 125 on your notice. I've got. Oh, okay. Okay. So something is going to happen um, during the evening. You at some point when um, uh, it's still your shift, Luca, and Gabriella is basically like uh, uh, I don't know, like awake to like you're awake, you're about to take your shifts, and both of you are awake while Roy is while Roy is sleeping, and um, basically like Gabriella, you're having a look outside in the downpour and seeing your traps, like just checking them from a distance, and you see you feel like you saw something moving inside of the rain, but inside of the perimeter of the inside of the perimeter of what's it called? Of your traps. So what do you do?
Luca, see something. Out there. I point out
What?
in the direction where I saw it from.
Geez, good hide. May I say that Luca has had a crossbow with the bolt in it as he was waiting by the window?
Yes.
Okay. Then he will slide over to where she is and peek out with crossbow in hand.
Okay. Both of you peel your eyes, and it's but you don't feel you're not able to sense anything for a couple of seconds, and then you hear a sort of splashing noise behind you. It's under the straw roof in which you're at, and there's a voice that whispers, "Don't yell." And when you turn around, you see you see a shadow. Basically, you see someone who's snugged their way past your perception and who's standing in the darkness. But he comes forward within your within the lights. You probably have either a candle or a torch, and you're seeing this person who's wearing a sort of a sort of blue and white coat, and and beneath it what looks to be restraints, like a very elaborate straitjacket and bandages over his eyes. But he's also at his neck wearing a cross. His like around his as a necklace, and it's a very specific intricate cross that places that that's only given like as a sort of badge to high inquisitors, and this is what he looks like.
Oh boy.
So what do you do?
Do we
He's-
recognize him?
You can roll for history or occult to know him. Both of which are going to be at difficulty 120 because he's not that well known inside of the
Oh
ecclesiastic
man.
circles.
It's all in Spanish, but I think I know who he is.
It's in French.
It's in French.
It's in French. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh my
sorry. That's the
God.
second time I've made that horrible mistake.
It's perfectly fine.
It's all
I
in
only
not.
have-
It's not English.
Well, that's still not a good thing. I mean, not that it's not in English isn't a good thing, but that it's still not a good thing that I'm like, oh, I immediately think that this is Spanish.
Um,
Well, no, I believe Anima was originally Spanish.
yes.
I've
But-
translated everything from Spanish. But I knew it's in French.
So, he's told you not to yell. What do you? And I think also, Luca, you can roll either occult or religion if you'd like.
I have a decent occult.
Yeah.
Oh, but stinking Damian is in the way. Damian.
Okay. So yeah, neither of you have heard of this specific High Inquisitor before. It's your first time seeing, and it's your first time like seeing this person. You've never seen an Inquisitor or heard of an Inquisitor that wore a straitjacket. And worst of all, he doesn't seem to have a lawbringer on him like Inquisitors usually do.
Well-
He doesn't seem to have a weapon.
Well, Elle doesn't seem to either. But she does.
True.
So this is no one we recognize. That is very suspicious. But as he does have all of the symbols, I think it's probably best for us to not sneak attack him and just give him a warning.
He snuck up on you. He
Ah.
Yeah, he basically made his way past your traps and past where the place where you were looking at for him, and entered the basically the place where you're standing behind you, and then he told you not to shout when he
Oh.
made his presence clear.
Well, I'm not going to shout. But are we all aware of him right now?
No, Roy is not aware of him
Yeah,
at
how
all.
close is Roy to us?
Roy is inside. You're currently under this the hay roof here, and Roy is inside of the house in here.
Not taking my eyes off of this, whoever it is, that doesn't look right. I'm going to make my way backwards into where Roy is to wake him up.
Don't. I need to speak to the two of you, and without him hearing us. I'm aware there is another person here with you, and like he glances towards where Al is, and Al seems to be asleep, like under this thatched roof, and does not move at all. And yeah, he's not like he's whispering. He's not being very loud. I'm High Inquisitor Damien, and I need to speak to both of you about your partner.
This is very unusual, High Inquisitor.
Yes, but the entire situation is very unusual.
Yes, especially everything about you.
Um,
And the fact that
he
we don't know who you are. And I don't mean to be disrespectful if you are a High Inquisitor, but we've never heard of you. So,
yes.
understandably, we have reservations about your identity.
He sits on the floor, basically on the wood floor, and he says, that's understandable. I was raised in the darkest dungeons of Albidion because ever since I was a kid, I've had a curse placed upon me. I'm My senses are overwhelmingly powerful, which is why I have to constantly wear this in order to dull my senses. I'm still able to talk with you and see where you are uh, through through the bandages over my eyes and hear what you say through the plugs in my ears. And I sense things that no other person can. I can sense both of your heartbeats. I can I can sense the fact that Roy doesn't have one. When he entered the Inquisition, I was very suspicious, and I started looking into his background, and it turns out that there's no mention of his existence until he joined towards the end of the Inquisition's training. But what we do know is that without any prior training, he had control over some supernatural abilities, some that he should only have been able to get either from the devil or from a lot of training inside of the Inquisition, which he did not get.
Yet he was still allowed to train with and become an Inquisitor and sent along with us without our knowledge?
The parts of the Inquisition is aware of his identity, but a lot of them have decided to be trusting of him, something that I have not. I believe that that the rest of the Inquisition is too trusting of this new recruit, and I thought I would warn you. You see, I did something to him in order to ascertain what I was thinking. I shared my curse with him. He's now he should be unable to uh, do anything. He should be overwhelmed by his senses and not be able to be outside of of an isolated room for very long. But he walks beside you every day. He should be wearing a straitjacket like I am, and yet he acts like a normal person.
Are
I
you
believe.
saying he has such fine senses as you?
Yes, but if he doesn't learn how to control them, he would be simply overwhelmed. I had to spend an eternity inside of the dungeons of the Inquisition in order to uh, learn how to choose what I was sensing, and even now I have to limit myself with this attire. But he did not. This is only proof that he has powers that the Inquisition does not understand. Your friend should not have been made an Inquisitor. It's a mistake, and I intend to correct it.
How?
You two are to keep going on your mission. Leave now. I'll take care. We can't take the risk of our organization being infiltrated by the forces of darkness.
Are you the only one who's aware of this?
I'm the only one with the senses to be able to feel this. I have told other members of the Inquisition, and there are others who are on my side, but not the higher-ups who lets him slide into our ranks. I can feel by your heartbeats that both of you are doubtful of me. That's fine. But I do wear this. I do wear this cross, and if which means that I am either an Inquisitor or strong enough to take it from one. Either way, there's nothing you can do to stop me. Now I'm breaking off from character, but Roy, you should have expected me to put your powerful enemy from the second game.
Oh, no. I just didn't expect so much fucking information. I was like, give some subtle hint. Nope, just, hey, Roy
Hey,
doesn't have a heartbeat.
This is the
Okay.
exact opposite of James.
I'm not revealing everything. I'm just saying
Sure,
you
I
don't have a
know,
heartbeat. There's lots of things that this could mean, like you could be an undead or something like that, or
True.
worse.
Roy was the big part, though. Like, Roy was the biggest part of information that I was like, oh, well, rip.
So what are you doing, Luca?
I'm asleep.
Luca,
I can't do
what? Luca is going to say, if you intend to kill him, High Inquisitor killer or not, we couldn't let you do that. If something is wrong with him, you have to bring it before those in Alberian, and they have to see it through. This isn't a personal, we don't run on personal justice.
You're wrong. Every time that the Inquisition finds someone who has supernatural powers, the Inquisitor has to decide whether this person is a saint or a user of supernatural powers. And the Inquisition has been wrong about saints in the past. So yes, we do run on personal justice. Maybe you haven't had to make a choice like this before, but you will have to someday.
I'm going to
For-
make a quick break up the stairs to get to Roy.
Okay. Roll for initiative.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is gonna be so much fun. Okay.
Boop, boop, boop. Okay, let me get my initiative out here. Doodly-doo. Where am I? It's 75. I just have my... wait, no, I have my crossbow out. I remember saying that.
All right. So basically, Damien reacts with lightning reflexes, and you can feel almost immediately that he has a training similar to yours, Gabriella. He's also been trained by the more like assassin parts of the Inquisition, so he's very fast, and he positions himself between you and actually he's going to position himself between you and Al instead of between you and the stairs, and he says uh, um, please, I don't want to have to hurt or eliminate actual inquisitors. You two are valid members of our organization, but but I will hurt you if you attempt to stop me. So what do you do? It's going to be your turn, and he's basically going to wait. He gives in his turn, but he's ready to counterattack if you attack him.
Nothing that he has said changes what my action is, so I'm continuing as fast as I can to run up those stairs and wake Roy.
Then you will hurt us.
He he's going to I think he starts to move towards Al's armor. While you're heading upstairs, you find Roy sleeping on the bed next to which you were. But when you try to shake him awake, he does not react.
It would still affect me. Remember the thing.
Are you talking about Keynote?
Yes.
Yes.
That is a huge fucking spoiler, but yes.
Yes, and then the thing is that that's only like working when you're conscious, when you're able to extend your senses. But because there is some running upstairs and some and because is Gabriella loud when she tries to wake him up?
Well, as I was going to continue to explain, when I do get up the stairs, I'm going to scream Roy as loud as I can.
Okay. I think you wake up then.
Yeah.
You're able. So Roy is able to wake up. Just in time to roll for defense.
Doodly-doo.
Roll for Al. Al is getting attacked. Also, roll for initiative to see if you get surprised.
All right.
And you're rolling initiative with Roy. Sorry, not with Roy. With Al.
Can you keep that open roll?
Yes, that is an open roll. Oh,
Sweet.
Congratulations! You might not be surprised. You're actually not surprised.
That would have been awesome if he managed to beat him in initiative and just like punched first.
Oh, cunt! Just fucking.
Okay.
All right. Defense.
Yeah, roll for defense.
Oh, of course.
Go ahead.
Oh, bitch!
Oh.
Let's go.
Oh man, this is insane.
This is great. We're off to a great start.
Turn on
Off
the
to a
rock
really
music.
interesting start. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh
my
my god.
So yeah, you're able to wake up and place
Wait,
your
hold
your
on. Because I'm gonna get a counterattack off of this.
Yes, you are. Um, Basically, you're able to wake up and place your Lawbringer axe between you and the kick that High Inquisitor Damien was delivering to you. So,
Gotcha. How much of a bonus is that?
that is going to be a let's see, 280. That is going to be a plus 20 bonus. No, wait. Yeah, plus 20.
Plus 20. I'm gonna be taking 2 attacks, by the way.
All right, and he's going to. Okay, so Hooah!
Goodness
All right,
gracious! Look at
I'm
that.
I'm spending some fatigue for this.
Fair
Good
enough.
idea.
Um,
Okay. Phew.
but
Immediately remove your powerful enemy.
Minus 2 AT for him.
minus 280. Why?
Yeah. Because of weapon quality. Because wait, is 15 weapon quality minus 2 or is it minus 3?
It's technically -3.
It's technically
Okay.
minus 3. So he
Minus 3 AT.
to his armor. So he only has an armor. It's cutting damage, right?
Yes, correct.
So he would have an armor of 0 against this if you reduce it by 3. So you're able to tear through his through the fabric of his straight jacket, basically. Um, and
Dealing 20%, right?
yep, 20% of your weapons damage. Actually, it's
30 damage.
actually it would be only 10. It would
Oh.
only be it's within absorption, but it's still going to basically it tears up his clothing and puts him on the defensive. But because of the absorption rules, he doesn't take damage from like such a small margin.
Okay. And then second attack.
All right. So
Not as great.
I have a minus 25 to defend from this one, because it's the second one.
Hey.
And you do first. No, that's yeah. You do 20% of your weapons damage, which is going to be 36. Okay. Right.
Do I recognize him, by the way?
Yes, he is the Inquisitor from your backstory. That is the level 6 powerful enemy that you have.
As I actually sink a wound in, I say Matthew 7:15, beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves.
I should be using this against you, he says, and you can see that your first attack actually freed his arm from the straitjacket, and you can see him starting to take the entire thing off, to be able to move more freely.
Okay.
Okay. Next up on the initiative is Luca.
What about L? Did L do remove?
Yeah, I got a higher initiative.
Yeah, L moved upstairs and woke Al up.
Right, I moved and yelled.
Roy. Woke Roy up.
But I still get an attack, don't I? We can move and attack?
Yeah.
Yes, but that basically what you'd need to do is move again and roll to attack.
Acrobatic roll?
There's like a window right there.
Yeah.
Oh dang!
Okay, if you want, you can absolutely like jump. Okay, so wait. He's also upstairs. You can jump out of the window. You're going to need to roll for jump at. It's going to be like just the difficulty 80, but you are at minus 20 because you are at minus. Wait, it's going to be You're
Hold
going to
on,
be
hold
doing
on. I'm not jumping
reaction.
anywhere.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot him through the window.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's perfect. In which case, you only have a -25 because you needed to do another action this turn, which was to move. So you're at
Oh, okay.
-25 for your actions.
Well, because he moved and attacked, right? So
Yes,
Mhm.
he did.
And he's already taken 2
-50.
attacks.
Yeah, he's at -50 because of that. Okay.
Are you shooting him with a poison?
of course,
What is your
poison blowgun.
what is your perception value, please?
My notice.
No. Your pure perception, your characteristic.
Oh, let's see. It is 8.
Okay. 8 plus 7 is 15. I beat you by 3 points, so I have a plus 30 to. Basically, he has his own Ars Magnus based on perception, so which gives him a plus 30 to defend. And now that he's out of the straitjacket, he's able to do this.
Okay, so I'm spending 1 fatigue because it's a physical attack,
All right.
and my modifier is, you said -25.
That is correct. And I should be at minus. I only rolled 2010. Sorry, I only rolled to 210
Okay.
because it's my third defense.
Does he take any penalties? No, he has mastery in defense, doesn't he?
Taking
No.
penalties for what?
Oh, being like a fire projectiles.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he does.
I don't know if darts count as fired or thrown, though.
They
Their
would
count
be.
is fired, and there is
Cool.
a penalty.
Okay. So let me have a look at that real quick, but you are correct. He does not have mastery, actually, but he's dodging.
All of his rolls have been above 200, so I thought by
Yeah,
early.
he only has 165 in dodge, so it's a fired project. No, it's a fired projectile. Yeah, it's a fired projectile. I believe.
So it's minus 30, and then you're at 210, which means that you bring it down to a 180.
I bring it down to 180. That's still not enough for you to hit, unfortunately, L. Basically, like he dodges, but you can see that there's just a lot of attacks going on around it. And he's really on the defensive now.
I would like to know if, since Al appears to be on the opposite side of him from me, and he was engaged with Al at the time,
True.
I would
Flank.
like to claim a flanking bonus if I can, or actually attacking from the rear.
Yes, that would apply if his senses didn't allow him to like. Basically, he's able to sense everything around him. He does not take penalties for placement because of how strong his perception is.
Okay.
But
He's also using much words.
that would have worked if you had been fighting someone who didn't have. I think I have 18 perception with this character.
Jesus fuck.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, he's in.
That is really high.
He's the only perception-based fighter in the game, as far as I'm aware of. But yeah, that's his whole deal.
All right. And second attack?
Oh, your second attack. Okay, cool.
It's a two-attack weapon.
I'm at -75 for this dodge. But wait, if you do 2 attacks, you have an additional -20 on both of them, actually.
So minus 45?
Yeah, so you should have rolled at -45 both of them, and I only get the. But yeah, but it's okay since you failed the previous
Yeah.
one.
Can I spend another fatigue on the second attack?
Yes, giving you another +15. I'm currently at 40 -45, and fired projectile it's a -75.
Wait, only 45? Because this is your.
He still has a +30 because of how much better his
that's right.
perception is.
Okay.
His Ars Magnus, basically. And he's able to dodge both of your attacks, unfortunately.
Jesus.
This is going to be bad. I think my perception is the worst.
Yeah,
my perception is -30.
I have. Oh, hold on. How is? Oh, okay, so now that the Ars Magnus is activated, what is the value of your perception?
This the characteristic, not the
Oh, yeah, the
secondary ability.
characters.
Oh, I think it's a 1. Yeah, it's a 1.
Okay, so basically, for he has an 18 because of the curse, because he's able to like sense a lot of things. But you, on the other hand, you're just overwhelmed by the way the curse works, which is why your perception is abysmally low. You have the
I
same
didn't
curse.
know.
You have the same curse, but one is in control, and you are completely overwhelmed by it.
Gotcha.
So if since you have a 1, that means I have an 8. I have plus 100 on every action against you.
Jesus. Fuck, that's not
Jeez.
OP at all.
Well, if you have 1 perception,
Yeah, you brought this upon yourself by having 1 in perception.
Well, how was I supposed to know my character creation, to be fair?
You were not. But that when I chose this character who was created by like a French people in the French forum, I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. This fits your the description of the of your powerful enemy to a T. He's very powerful, specifically against you.
Jesus.
Okay.
Alright. Well, this
Um,
is gonna be fun, I guess.
Luca.
Luca's perception is 6.
Okay.
Yes, 6.
6. So plus 7, that is a 13. So I have a plus 50 bonus against you.
I don't know if it would matter. It probably doesn't. But I do
No,
technically have a plus 3 for the purpose of checks due to acute senses.
Oh, yeah, no, I think that would actually count, bringing my bonus down to plus 20 for you.
Whew. Okay.
Because yeah, basically he's able to sense such minute things that you might not be aware of, that he uses this for like better placement and for and to like dodge things by a hair's breadth, basically.
Gotcha. That actually gives a purpose to my to that part of acute senses, because I have never heard of somebody making somebody else make a perception characteristic check.
Yeah, that's I see. Like we found uses for the advantages in interesting ways. So basically, the way that he fights is he has very little movement. Um, Even with his arm freed from the straitjacket, he only seems to be using the arm for balance. But he has a fighting style based on what's it called? A fast movement and acrobatics and kicking mostly. So you can see that he's a master at a couple of martial arts that he's combining to with his attacks. And since all of you see the supernatural, you can see that he's starting to accumulate ki. He's ready to launch stronger attacks over the next
Wait,
turns.
roll concentration, please, versus the damage that he took versus me.
I don't think that
30.
happens with key, right?
Yeah,
Just
when
magic.
you're accumulating key, you have to make sure that in order to maintain it, you actually have to roll, which is really fucking obnoxious.
For key accumulation as well,
I believe so.
I do not. I can check the rules if you'd like, but I've only ever applied the rules for magic accumulation, and even then, like it tends to be a bit of an obnoxious rule. So
All right.
I believe if I'm put on the defensive, I have to accumulate health as if I was doing an action, but I believe that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is as the recommendation. It's a single to perform the character scheme, blah blah blah.
I mean, we
Accumulating
can.
keys is a passive action. When characters perform other actions in the same round, they must reduce their accumulation by half. Uh, um, Yeah, it doesn't say anything about breaking some of these concentration to stop accumulation.
I thought it was a thing, but I guess not.
It's okay. There are a lot of rules in this game. So, new initiative, everyone.
I haven't shot my crossbow yet.
Oh, yes. So you're also attacking a higher member of your organization. All right, go ahead and roll. I'm at minus 100 to dodge this. Minus 130, I believe.
30.
It's a fire projectile. So,
Achoo!
Oh, nice.
but I have a plus 20 against you specifically.
So
You do.
negative 110.
Yeah, negative 110. You guys are really ganging up on him.
Destiny says we should beat this member of our organization that I'm really nervous about fighting.
So
No armor
180%.
penetrating.
Ooh.
No, I don't penetrate any armor.
Okay, you have no armor penetration. I gotta remember this. It's a thrust attack,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So that would give me a plus 40 in total, bring me to 130, meaning you would be doing 140% of your weapon's damage. How much
70.
would that be? All right. 0.7. 0.7 and times we said 140%, right?
Yes.
And I believe that is accurate. So you do 98 damage.
No. Wait, what?
270.
Whoa! I think it was
You do 40 damage, right?
me.
Yes.
My crossbow does 50 base.
And it's but
You have
what's
70
the no yeah, hold on. What's the okay? It's 70 damage. It does 50 base, but what about like the maximum, the total?
I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean.
Okay. All right. Just let me check one thing real quick.
Sorry about that.
On your character sheet. No, it's fine. Armory, crossbow. All right, yeah. It does 40 as base damage, but it is modified by the strength to result in 50 damage. So you do 50%. You do 50. Okay, yeah. So you do 70 damage. That is, unfortunately for me, a critical. So by 5 points. So you're well on your way to killing him.
Not a great critical though.
Yeah, it's hold on. Physical resistance. And yeah, no modifiers.
Hey, you still got it though.
You
So
still
negative
got
30 for him.
Yep.
So
Okay.
he gets a negative. He gets a plus 100 against me. So I mean.
Negative, no, only plus 70.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically you hit him with the crossbow bolts, and I think it's going to pierce his thigh. Basically, he's unable to dodge that many attacks, and you can see that he starts to take a couple of steps back. Even though you're only 3 level 4s, there's he seems like unable to fight against all of you.
Also, I am using Al and Roy. They're both here.
Okay, so you're rolling with the initiative of Al,
Of
unfortunately.
Al. Correct.
Okay.
I got 137.
All right.
It's actually ironic because I outspeed Luca.
I am also going to drop my crossbow and get my swords, if that's okay.
Yeah, but
I do take a negative 25 for draw.
Yeah, you take that penalty for drawing. Okay, everybody roll for initiative again.
Already done.
We did so. He's super fast.
Okay. Let's see. So Roy, Luca, and Elle, all three rolled initiative. It's my turn first. Very well. He, um, you can see him saying, "You're all making a grave mistake, but I'll do what I must for the Inquisition." And he accumulates. You can see that his key accumulation continues. He's basically gathering up energy around him, and the glow that's around him of supernatural energy is almost becoming visible. Sort of like there's
An
lightning
aura.
coursing. Yeah, there's lightning coursing the air around him, and suddenly there's a bright flash of supernatural energy blasting from around him and destroying everything inside of the house and everything that's and just basically like rushing towards your characters. So everyone has to roll for defense as I am making a an area attack with key.
Any negatives?
No negatives unless if you have no, none of you are surprised. So
Did he have any sort of action penalty for getting critically hit?
he does. He has a minus 30 to
Okay.
all of his actions. But
Okay.
okay. By the way, when you apply your defenses, since he has a bonus against each of you individually, I think the lowest. Okay, yeah. He's just gonna have a plus 20 to all of his actions, to attacking all of you, since that's the lowest modifier between all of you. So you're all getting the benefit of Luca's high initiative.
Yay.
Perception. Also, I'm going to blow just 1 point of initiative fatigue on this.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, area attack. It's on the electricity, and I don't get bonuses to my attack. So,
I have electricity armor.
all right.
I have electricity armor of 9.
Oh yeah, you're Al.
I'm aware, but you're also going to have to your roll to defend.
Oh, yeah.
Also
With
in
Roy as well.
yeah, and that's which means you get a penalty of dodging with both of using both of them at the same time.
Do I?
Yes, because you're moving both of them at the same time to
Okay.
dodge.
Well, Roy is still fine because of 9 AT.
Okay. All right. It's on the yeah.
Uh-oh. That's what I was worried about.
And L is also dodging. Okay, so
And then he's going to be fine because 5 AT.
yeah. He has 580, so you are able to resist the attack, but you're still put on the defensive.
Wait, how so?
Huh?
No? Because he doesn't beat my defense.
I do beat your defense. It's just that your armor saves you, but you're basically
What the fuck?
Well,
Oh my
remember,
God,
that
that's
was
so
what happened
dumb.
between the fight between Luca and Roy. That was why a fight between Luca and Al lasts for so long.
For fuck's sake.
basically if I roll higher than your defense in any attack, your characters are put on the defensive unless if you used the defensive maneuver to in which you were taking the hit, basically, which it makes it really hard to defend yourselves, but in exchange you are still able to act when your turn comes. But right now, the only thing that saves you basically from this overwhelming attack is your armor. So you are put on the defensive. So
That's
real
so
quick,
shitty.
Not me.
let's see. I rolled an attack of 223, and L
Everyone's put on the defensive.
Yeah, L, you also rolled. Your roll is 146, so it wouldn't have been. So I still overwhelmed your defense. So you're
Correct.
still on the defensive, I believe.
Yes,
Unless
that's correct.
yeah. So what were you? What did you say? Not me when you.
I don't have 9 electrical armor.
Oh, yeah. That means you're also put on the defensive, but you take damage. So this is the damage with this attack is nice. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So real quick, we're gonna go in the order of defense. So Luca, what is your what is your armor against electricity?
My armor against electricity is on my sheet, and so I can go to it very quickly. It is whoa. For my head, it's 4. Hold on. For my body, it's 2. Let me check that head, because that sounds wrong. Why would a great helm give more armor to electricity than the cold?
A helm would have less protection from electricity because it's conductive.
Yeah,
I
but
think that the order of armors in the character sheet is not the
it's
same as the
changed.
order of armors.
yep.
Electricity and cold are changed in the character sheet versus the book. It's
Okay.
really weird.
So
Yep.
I still have 2 electricity armor from my armor, but for my head, I have 0.
Oh, for your head you have 0. Okay, so you're so the attack is you're not able to come through the armor on your body, but it is able to come through the armor on your head. And so I believe just a little bit over 20% of my weapons damage. Okay, 0.2 and okay. What about L? L, do you have any resistance against electricity?
You would have to answer that question for me because you said that I was awake because we were just about to change shift. So it depends on whether this happens before or after I would have put my armor on, which I would not be sleeping in.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you put your armor on then.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I don't have my armor on. I totally forgot that. I am
Yes.
sorry. So I do have 0 armor.
It's okay. So yeah, but you were during your shift, so you might have been wearing your armor during your shift, though. Would you?
No, I specifically said that he probably wasn't wearing his armor on a shift.
Okay. So you have a protection of 2 against electricity. For L, that would bring you to 166. That would be a difference of 40. I would do 40% of my damage, which, yeah, you can survive that.
Okay. Oh yeah, I hope I survive. If she survives.
Right, so this is 0. Let's see, 4 times. Okay. So the first damage is what Lucas takes. You take 26, and Gabriel, you take 52, which I believe is a critical because you have 90 life points. So roll physical resistance, please.
Okay, so 52 damage is 40% of his damage?
Yes.
Okay.
Because with this attack specifically, he does 130
Yeah,
area.
no, I know how they work. I know how the powers work.
Yeah.
I just wanted to double check.
Yeah. So roll for physical resistance, and I roll as well the 52. There's a good chance. You still get a critical. You get a minus. Let's see. 100. There's going to be a 23 penalty to all of your actions, but you recover by 5 every turn.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, like the part of the house is on fire, but part of it is completely destroyed. It's as if an explosion of electricity came out of him, and he's standing in the center of this crater, breathing heavily. He says, "Your cohesion as a group is surprisingly strong for a unit that's been formed only recently, but It's still not. Wait. And he turns to the side. And before you can launch a new initiative, he turns towards basically the east, and
Don't you dare. Let me
he-
kill him.
he takes off the bandages on his eyes, and you can see that there's a glow to them, and he points to. He says, "We have to stop fighting. There's something's here, something that's more powerful than us." What do you do?
Well,
Shoot him.
I'm fully debating too. What can I sense it?
Okay, well, you can either roll for notice in order to be able to notice it. If you have if you have a key perception, you can use this as well. And if you have any other means of detecting things, you all have see supernatural, so it's going
We
to
do
be
have that.
easier for you to notice this. Okay, so your notice is 166. Yeah. So here's what you perceive. You perceive that there's a cloud of supernatural energy above, high above the ground in the rain, as if the source is flying. And there is a spot that the High Inquisitor Damien is staring at, which is under that cloud of supernatural energy, and rain is not falling on three circles on the ground that are next to each other below this cloud. Roy, you're unable to perceive any of this, but Elle is able to see it as well. You have this this cloud of energy, and it's crackling with powers similar to what you to the ones that the Lagor, the spider, was using against you. And the last thing that you perceive is also there's a buzzing. There's a low buzzing in the air, like thousands and thousands of flies massing together.
Oh.
Does anyone point this out to me? Because if no one points it out, I'm taking a swing at this motherfucker.
Luca will say in his most commanding voice, "Halt!" and he'll hold out his hand. There is something out there.
Treaty for now, traitor.
Listen, we can we can settle our differences aside later. And if you are really a part of and if you are as loyal to the Inquisition as you claim you are, you know that our primary mission is to fight sorcerers of supernatural. And this is how could I've been foolish. I was concentrating on this fight instead of being wary of them, but.
What did I say? Treaty for now.
Luca, can Luca just put on his armor would probably take a couple minutes to put on. Can you put on just his helmet?
Yes, you can put on your helmet.
Okay.
Quickly. All right.
He has a helmet.
Yeah. But. Okay, the buzzing sound is getting louder and louder. Where is the crystal cross at the moment?
On Owl's back, I presume.
On Al's back.
Okay, it's still going to be there. That's perfect.
I'm going to quickly turn to the guy and say, protect the suit of armor at all costs.
No, I'll concentrate on the attack.
I have the crystal on my back.
Listen, I can protect the armor. If you can do that electric burst more than once, then you're probably our best shot against a swarm like whatever that is.
Yeah. Roy already has his fucking needle, or not his needles, his wires out.
All right. This is perfect. I hope it's not. So let's take a short break. I hope it's not too action-packed for you.
No.
No, I'm enjoying this.
How-
uh,
Okay, question. How close are we, if I may ask, to killing him?
you did a critical, which means you took more than half of his life points,
Yeah.
which
So,
is which is
did you
perfect.
ex machina this just so he doesn't die, or?
Oh no no no!
No.
Look, I had tokens prepared for the enemies. It's just that I was waiting for everyone to be hurt a little bit before I revealed that what the real fight was.
Fucking nobody is hurt except for him, pretty much, I think.
Isn't
No,
Roy still tech?
Oh, wait, no,
No.
no, L's hurt. L's hurt.
El and
L's
Luca.
hurt, and he's hella hurt.
Luca also took
Oh,
Luca took 26.
that's right.
But Luca has 190.
Okay, so I'm going to make the tokens appear, but the guys aren't haven't shown up yet. They're still like flying pretty high above. By the way, Appleby, do you have any idea what thousands of bees and psychic powers mean?
Is it the mothers?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
It's called the machine in this setting. The mothers are the central units controlling this
Yeah.
this enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
That's usually sort of, well, whenever I would think to use them is sort of an end of the world scenario, so we are in a little bit of trouble.
Yes, you are. Okay, so the first thing, yeah. So everybody rolls for initiative. But anybody who rolls higher than me is basically just going to be like going to be expecting the attack, basically. But you're
Also-
going to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, are you representing the swarm as these three dudes in black?
No, the swarm. I don't have a token for a swarm of flies,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But
That's fine.
yeah. Okay. So,
Why do they look like fucking Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts?
you once I show you the image, you're going to see that the look is slightly different.
I know.
Oh wow, Elle, you're going to surprise them.
Yeah, L.
Probably.
Can L
Darts.
reach them though?
Hmm?
Can L reach them though?
No, not yet. But they basically they're going to move in and they're going to be semi within range. So you rolled more than 100 more than 100 than them. So you do surprise them. And I've got to roll for Damien as well, real quick.
Damien is important.
Yes. All right. And his
So-
initiative.
Did you mention something regarding this entire building being destroyed
Huh?
when he did
Oh.
his AOE blast?
Yeah. Basically, he had reached. Okay, so let's put the tokens in the position in which they would have been. So yeah, he was here when he attacked, and this is basically the positioning of your characters right now. And I am going to use my 4 years in art school to represent what is broken down. But basically, all of this is rubble. This part of the house right here, and yeah, basically all of this is rubble. But whatever doesn't have brown on it is not crumbled yet.
So our friend though is standing in the rubble.
Yeah. Basically, he's at the center of the blast. So what you see is basically a swarm of those gigantic head-sized, not flies that look completely metallic, are flying down from above and just basically rushing in the direction of Roy, not Roy, Al, and
Al.
and completely like swarming it. But they get they're going to like rush to the floor, rush to the ground, and then do a sort of like low swoop that's low on the ground. So they're like overwhelming you and just like flying all around you, but they're within everybody's reach. Everybody who's rolled a higher initiative is able to act and attack them before they reach Al for Al's attack. So, real quick, who is the fastest on the initiative? I believe it is.
Jeff.
It's Jeff.
Fuck it, 200 and 283.
Yep. So you surprised them. So they have their defense is going to be 0 against you because you make them. No, it's going to be 10. That's all. So what do you do?
So this is like a swarm of a bunch of tiny little things, and everything I have does single target damage. So that makes it essentially little to no
hard
use
time for you.
against a swarm.
But
It is still damage, though.
and on the other hand, you got to take into account there are other free targets that are flying above you, but it's very hard to tell the distance because of the rain.
I do see this target right here, though.
Yes, you do see him.
That's a good guy though. That's our friend right now. For now.
No, that's not our friend now or ever. He never has been our friend.
True.
Okay.
Especially not my friend. Fucking cunt put a curse on me.
All right.
He even admitted it. He even fucking admitted putting a curse on me. I was like, oh, that's very inquisitive of you.
You do have the surprise on him.
So the problem is, did it figure out my minus 27 all action modifier, which goes down by 5 at the start of this round? Is that right?
Yes, there's been enough time that if you want it, like we can say that like 15 seconds have passed at the very least, allowing you to, or like 50 seconds have passed. Wait, no, 5 per turn. That would be 5 turns. That would be 15 seconds. Yes, 15 seconds have passed, so you can have recovered your from the critical basically. But so can he.
Okay, but
I don't think we want to make an enemy of him on turn 1 at least right now, because we are gonna need some help.
okay. So since I think we're discussing this out of character, I will explain to you out of character. He chose to make an enemy of us. He came here.
Yeah.
He had no proof or verification that he is anything at all that we should trust, and he looks pretty damn freaky. And he accused us of the person that we have already seen to put his life on the line to defend innocent people, kill a supernatural monster, and obey the orders of the Inquisition. He's telling us that he wants us to leave him here with him and walk away, not to wake him up because he has an issue with him. So that's further examples of he's an enemy who can't be trusted. And then when I attempted to go wake him up, he takes an aggressive action and attacks one of our party. So in no way, shape, or form does L have the slightest belief that he is anything other than a monster who is here to cause us harm and needs to be destroyed. So I was not ever ending the combat. That's why I asked if at the start of the very next round, that's enough for me to drop an action, because I am attacking him and continuing to attack him until he's dead or I'm dead.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So basically that would have happened while you only had recovered 5 points from the critical. Then
Right.
it happened a bit earlier. But we're gonna say that the swarm is attacking like very quickly. Okay. In which case you have surprised him, so he takes minus 90 to his action. What's your perception at again, please? I think no, I think he has a plus 30 against action
Sounds
against.
right.
And he's surprised. Okay, so I'm at minus 90 to defend, plus 30, at minus 60. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Okay, but what I'm saying though is that all action modifier of minus 22 should apply to my initiative as well. I don't know if the system accounts for that.
Yes,
No.
it.
I don't think it does, because initiative is different. It applies to
No,
physical stats.
No. The penalty does apply, but
Oh.
the penalty was taken into account in my initiative. So
Oh, okay.
that
Okay.
would drop your initiative to how much?
Actually, it does take effect on initiative, but it's halved for initiative. All action penalties are halved, correct?
Give me 1 second.
One of three things.
Looking for obscure rules. The game.
Yes.
Yep,
The-
that's literally the fucking game.
I don't believe so, but I can check. Okay.
Even if the full minus account, I still beat him by the 100.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I guess I'll look that up, and you guys can keep going.
So yeah, he dodged. He has a dodge. He has a dodge of 181 on his attack with all of those modifiers.
Okay.
So, go ahead and roll to attack. Do you spend fatigue on this?
I spend 1, yes.
Okay.
And it will adjust. Do I have to put that modifier into my attack, or it's accounted for already? It looks like it's accounted for.
If you put the modifier of the critical in your all action modifier, then yes, it should be taken into account for your roll. That is a fumble. Roll 1d100 to see by how much you fumble. And I'm on the perfect page for this, I think.
Okay. Whew. Not a big one.
Okay, it's not a huge fumble, but
plus he's surprised. So
yeah. But the surprise was taken into account in my roll. I did have the minus 90 plus 30, so a total of minus 60 for this roll. So yeah, despite his surprise, he basically he moves out of the way, and you can see that like every time he dodges something, he dodges it by a hair's breadth. And yeah, when you when you hit him with this, he grunts and says, "Fine then, take care of take care of this on your own." And he you can see that yeah, on his initiative, he's going to use weight cancellation. Basically, he starts to float and he starts to run upwards. He's climbing on top of droplets. Basically, he's running up droplets like they're stairs, and just basically running upwards towards where the what are they called? A bit where the 3 targets above your heads are. Yeah.
Second attack?
Oh, you have a second attack? So
yes.
yeah, he's starting to move to do this upwards when you try to attack him the second time. Did you take a minus 20 on your first attack to represent?
Oh no, I didn't.
Okay, so you need to take the you need to do that. But
so it's a minus 40 actually now on this attack, right? It's
No.
minus 20 for each.
No,
okay.
No, it's you take a 20 to be on each of them.
And 1 more fatigue.
Okay. He is not going to be surprised because it's the second attack, which means he only has the plus.
Really? Is
Yeah,
that
this surprise only happens on the first attack on a target per round.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Go ahead and roll. And he's able to dodge it as well. You like
What?
If there was any doubts that this character is at least at the level of a High Inquisitor, now it's clear.
As he clearly stated, he is either a High Inquisitor or he is powerful enough to take the symbol from the High Inquisitor. Because nothing he has done or said convinces me that he is a High Inquisitor, I accept his offering that he is a powerful enough monster to have killed and taken this cross from a High Inquisitor.
All right. Okay, yeah, no, that's basically that. Yeah, that's pretty sound logic. That is going to make this next fight a bit harder since you're not cooperating together. But I love it. It's perfect.
Well, he could have made it easier, but he didn't. So
Yes. So, next up on the initiative, I believe that Roy is. Let's see. Roy is at -20, so you're going to be last. And oh, actually, I'm going to surprise you, Roy. That's nice. And Luca is at 116, which means that
Wait,
after
what was
hmm?
your initiative?
My initiative was 157 with the swarm, and you're at -20.
How so when it says 140?
Huh? No, it says
It's 40.
What?
no. Oh no, that roll for initiative was a mistake. It's earlier
Oh,
that I did them for both Damien
natural
and the swarm.
157.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's my turn. It's the turn of the swarm. So roll to defend yourself.
All of
All
us?
right.
Okay.
And it's at a -90?
Yes, because
Is
you are
Are you
surprised.
attacking Al, I would assume?
Yes, I'm attacking Al.
Okay.
I am in front of Al, or I wanted to be?
You can try to intervene if your initiative is higher, I believe.
It's higher than Al's, but not higher than the swarm.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Here's the defense. No, that's not the right one. Special defenses. To push someone aside. Sometimes a character who is dodging might need to push another individual out of the path of the attack. This maneuver is considered an active action and can only be used to push aside persons very close to the character performing the maneuver, assuming he has the necessary strength to do so.
Yeah,
I was
not
gonna say
you,
15
you
feet tall.
you do not, and
Well, it's blocking or pushing aside. Pushing aside is if you're using dodge. Blocking for the target is what I can do.
Absolutely. The yeah, okay. So you can both roll to defense to defend, and we'll use the highest
higher.
of your defenses.
Wonderful.
I was gonna say I actually think that with the penalty I get. Well, no, actually. Well, no, actually. Yeah. Sorry. I get a -30 for this, I do believe. So mine will probably be a bit lower.
But you are not surprised.
No.
Yeah.
And
173. Thank you.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm a mass of 100 creatures, so I have a plus 150 to each of my attacks.
That's
So who has the Luca?
Yep.
Oh no, it's okay. Roy, you have with the
Luca
penalty.
has the higher, sadly.
Okay, so that's 150.
Do they have Inhuman?
That is a very good question.
Because if not, then they would only have 280.
No, they would be capped at 319.
Oh, 319, you're right.
Yes. It's a good thing that's like a lot of us that we all have like some knowledge of the anima rules, so that we're able to like do this pretty fast. But
Mine is a lot of random shit.
yeah. They do not have inhuman, so they are capped at 319.
So I just saved you from about 20-ish% damage.
Okay, so what is your armor against cutting?
Oh, against what? Cut?
No, not Luca. Roy. What is Al's?
Yeah, it's against cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
against.
I'm looking at your attack, it says cut.
Yeah. 173. Yeah, what's your armor against that? Al? For Al.
No, for Luca, because Luca takes the attack, right? Because he rolled the higher.
Actually, if I push aside, if I try to block successfully, we both take the damage.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
What the fuck? That makes no sense. Okay.
well, it's like my price for trying to help.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Okay.
So that's -4 for me. So 120% damage for Luca and -9 for our other. That's +90. That's not what you want.
Yeah.
No, that's I was doing my defense.
Yeah.
One. Okay. Yeah, but then no. Your defense isn't. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. 245. So you take. So Roy is going to take 90% of the damage. I forgot.
Al is taking 90%.
Yes, Al is taking 90%. Give me 1 second for this.
All good.
The creatures they have okay, they do a damage of 60 as a mass.
Okay.
So yeah, basically like they're going to start like attacking the armor itself. They're tearing your cape to shreds and the mechanisms, and they're like attacking a little bit the mechanisms under your armor. As for Luca, you're going to take let's see. That's 30, that's 60, that's 160% of
My
the
armor subtracts 40 from that.
okay, so that's 120 percent of the weapons damage, and because it's 60, 0.6, you take 72 damage.
I can take that.
Wait. What? Hold on. You are doing.
Oh,
That is the correct damage. He doesn't do the calculations like we usually do, though. Anyways, that is not critical.
That is weird. Okay.
okay, there's another critical that is good. But yeah, basically you can like the both of you are put on the defensive, and this swarm is just like is like buzzing around you. And basically, like there's that it's going to be the end of the turn because everybody else is put on the defensive. But there's.
I'm just gonna say my least favorite mechanic about this game is put on the defensive.
Oh yeah, no, it's
fucking like mechanic because it's like,
it's
oh
horrible.
hey,
It's horrible.
You can't do shit.
It's horrible, but on the other hand, it's really useful for characters like L, who's an initiative-based fighter, and
oh yeah, absolutely.
And this makes it possible. Basically, if L lands a blow on an enemy, that's like a single target, L is able to just block this character from like playing this turn.
It makes it basically an initiative and attack game. Literally, that's the only two things you need to worry about, really. Not even damage, it's just can you block out turns.
Yep.
Which,
Well, if you have a high enough damage, this game is also kind of swingy with the option of open roll and fumble. So if you have really low damage, high attack, high initiative, there's always the chance that the defender will make a big swing and counter attack.
So real quick, I'm going to.
So no initiative, right?
No, just before this, Damien is going to do his area attack on your position, but the lightning strangely wraps itself around your characters so as to avoid hurting you, and only attacks the creatures that are attacking you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
It is nice.
And he has.
I did make a temporary treaty.
Yep, you did. And he's basically like seeing how dire the situation is, and just not attacking people who could be his allies, despite the fact that one of you attacked him and that the other one is the person he came here to kill.
Luke is free of guilt.
They have a defense of. They have a low defense. but they have a perception of.
I think the Inquisition would say you're full of guilt and you need lots of repentance.
Alright, so
But they say
have
that about everybody.
20.
Yeah.
Yes, they do
Yeah.
say that about everybody.
Especially with money.
100. That's 100. That's an attack that takes all of them because of because it's a wide area attack, which means they take 15 times the damage. Okay. So when
what is their defense?
their defense is blocked at 100, so they take 110% of the damage that is that is 130, and they take it, and it's multiplied by 15 because he's able to hit 100 of them at the same time.
2,145.
No, 2,000.
No, you. No.
Oh
My math
yeah.
is right.
No, you are right. Okay.
Yeah, you added an extra 0.
We'll take it. We're not going to argue with the GM. We'll take it. 21,450 damage.
Which would destroy all of them, but currently, no, wait, you did 2,000. Okay. Basically, yeah, this attack basically breaks this a lot of those flies, and you can see that they fall to the pieces that compose them like just fall to the ground and shatter upon impact. But but at the center of each of the fly, there's a sort of dark crystal that's emitting, that's pulsing with supernatural energy and extending tendrils of energy towards the rest of the pieces. And basically, they start to move them back towards the core crystal. And each of them is regenerating. They're reforming their bodies slowly but surely. It's now a new initiative. Everybody roll for initiative.
Everybody roll initiative. Woo!
Alice, slow.
But I don't surprise you this turn.
Dude. Oh my god, my fucking my defense isn't bad either. That's the sad thing about it.
This might be absorbing blows, even though you're probably going to take like 100 damage a turn.
Yeah.
But you can area attack with your stinking enormous axe.
Yeah. Yeah. So just so you know, you can use this special defense absorb hits. A character can decide to forego an attempt to block an attack and instead simply take the hits as they come. If a player declares that his character will just absorb hits, the character's base defense abilities are halved. After which any other relevant penalties is applied. In exchange, the combatant can perform an active action when it is his turn, even if he has already been hit. So you're aware of all of this. L,
Yeah,
you're still.
I know about it. It's just way too big of a negative, I think.
Actually, in the new core book, you don't have to use this rule, but the negative is a flat negative 80.
Oh, okay. We can just go with. We'll just go with that instead. I'll write it down in the special defenses.
Gotcha. I'm debating doing something, which would be really funny.
You should do something. Doing nothing is a bad idea.
Alright.
Okay. Taking the hit in the core exit rules is a minus 80 mixed penalty. Okay. So the first to act is L. L, what do you do?
Are there any of these things actually currently swarming Al with the crystal?
There are still some, but because of the impact of the attack, the swarm seems really confused and erratic at the moment. Completely uncoordinated, bumping into each other, falling to the ground, but they seem to be recovering from the confusion.
But there is what's his name.
What's his name?
Damien?
The fucking electric guy.
Damien.
Damien's flying overhead.
Yeah. There is the sound of fighting coming from above your heads, and yeah. So what do
How
you?
high above is he? Also, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yes.
Weight reduction can't make you float or fly.
Yes, but if you have something to step on, and one of the examples is clouds, you are able to, or walls, or anything, you are able to lift yourself. And because of his inhumanity, he's able to do that on droplets. Basically, he's a
Okay.
ridiculous character because he's an anima character who's level 6. Basically, as soon as you start to reach these levels, you start being ridiculous. Let's be honest, Roy and Al already are.
Yeah. When they can actually fucking attack, because fucking Owl has the shittiest fucking initiative.
I really must advise you to use that absorbing blows ability.
Yes, I advise you to do the same.
It's too big of a negative though, like negative 80.
You're
But
gonna
I'm
take
gonna
damage,
take-
but you have 600 health to take that damage with.
yeah. So Al, what do you do?
I'm going to attack any of the insects that are trying to get at Al's back or at the cross behind him.
Okay. So let's we can do something. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're trying to make sure they're unable to. Are you trying to do damage more or try to uh, uh, like protect him as much as possible? Which one's your priority?
Yeah, I'm going to not allow them to get at the cross.
Okay. So here's what I suggest. Uh, you can. Oh, here's what I suggest. You have enough you have enough strength to push aside the cross if it comes down to this. So what I would suggest is that you take an extra action, which is which
You take a bold action, and then you take an attack.
yeah, you can do 2 attacks if you want, but but if you also want to be ready to push the cross aside, you can take an extra action penalty in exchange for being able to defend the cross if it comes down to that.
Well, I'm not trying to push the cross at all.
Yeah. Okay. Then in which case you can do just regular attacks then.
Okay.
Uh,
And I think I just get the 1 attack with the stiletto.
I believe. Wait, how much is your attack total?
Right now it's at 113.
So you actually can do 2 attacks at minus 25, because your attack ability allows you to do this.
Okay, I'll do that. 2 at minus 25.
All right. So that will be 100. Yeah, my defenses are fixed, so just roll whenever you get the chance. Okay, and go ahead and roll again. Okay. All right. So what's your weapons damage with the stilettos?
35.
35. Okay. All right. You you were able to slash across 2 of those flies. Basically, like yeah, but making them fall to the ground as well and shattering into pieces. All right. Who is next on the initiative?
Let me take a look.
I bel I believe it's me.
I think it's you. You're before Luca. I know that. Yes,
Yep.
Luca, and then Al and Roy.
Okay. Who else is going to take? Yeah, I'm just going to attack Roy again, but this time it's a takedown. It's a takedown maneuver. So they're going to ignore armor on anyone that tries to defend.
Okay, and which one are they attacking?
They're attacking Al.
Okay.
Who is defending? Is Luca going to try defending Al again this turn?
Yes, I understand.
Uh-oh. Hold on a minute. What the heck is this? Okay, low disk space. That's weird. Yes, he's going to try to defend. I'm going to roll fatigue points this time.
Okay. So both of you can be
Boom!
swept into the attack.
I'll put him over here by Al because that's where he is.
Should I roll defense? Or...
Yes, both of you should roll defense. Do you want to take the absorbs hits or not?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
So my
If he
attack.
succeeds, then, I block it.
I think I'm gonna succeed. We can cross our fingers.
There are a lot less of them, so their attack is actually not as powerful.
Oh, very nice. Oh yeah, let me do my fatigues.
But they still get the modifier from for there being 25 of them left at a.
Oh, okay. He did a lot more damage than I thought. We can save the axe. Oh, no damage, but we are stopped from doing stuff.
Yep.
Nice.
So you try to block the swarm once again, and Luca is
Wait,
trying to stand in front of you. Mm-hmm.
It's a takedown maneuver, which
Yes,
means that it would only take down one person,
Hmm.
and Luca's defending for me, meaning that I wouldn't have to roll.
No. They are they are an area of attack, and since they rolled higher than you, because they're a swarm. So basically, like they are able to take down two people at once if Luca stands in your way. And because Luca didn't fully block it, you still have to roll.
I was gonna say, yeah. Okay. Agility or strength?
Yes. Give me one. Yeah.
They're both 8 for me. Oh boy.
The 100 drones.
25 drones.
God damn it. Getting so fucking sick and tired of not being able to do so.
That's why we advised you to take the take hits.
That's just a waste of nights, though. And now you're gonna take negatives because you weren't able to sleep because you had to fucking repair shit.
Hey! Calm down. The complexities, the difficulties that that you have to that you face off in combat are things that your characters have adapted to in order to survive. So, like the basically like I'm putting up a lot of difficulties in your path because I know your characters are able to overcome them. I know that with a little bit of ingenuity and teamwork, your characters can overcome whatever things I'm putting in front of you. But it's difficult for a purpose. It's and we're using a lot of rules on purpose because because I want every combat to be difficult and special. So that's what we're that's why it's difficult. So. But if it makes you angry, like I don't have to make it.
No, it's fine. It's just like at times it does annoy me, but I fully understand that it's a mechanic of the game, so it is what it is.
By the way, since I'm defending you and my defense is generally higher, it doesn't really matter if you absorb blows or not because you're gonna get my defense either way.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Is that for me? And there's another one for Roy or Al.
I'm rolling for both of you.
Okay, Roy does or Al does a nope. Luca does a flip.
This is a 246. Hold on 1 second. I did not pass I only passed your defense by a little amount, which means that it's that the takedown maneuver is going to be let's see. You both of you have a +3. I also have a +3 because I passed because I rolled a 10. Just checking. Yeah.
I have a negative. Well, if we're using the older rules, then I technically have a -3.
Hmm?
If we're using the older rules, then I technically have a -3 because I rolled a 1.
Oh, you rolled a. No, we're not using the old rules. We're using the updated Arcana Accept rules.
Oh, cool.
So
I match it. I match it then.
no, I get a +3, and you also get a +3. So you're yeah, because when you roll a 10, it counts as if you had rolled a 13 instead. So real quick, if the attacker succeeded by a margin of less than 3 points, or 3 to 10, so you're mostly so basically Roy is going to be mostly immobilized, and
Al.
Wait.
Luke,
No,
This
Al.
is trapping.
oh no, wait, no, it's sorry, my bad. I said it was a takedown. Okay. You both received less than 100% of the damage, so I have a -3. But only if the attacker wishes it. -3. Okay, yeah. You're both slammed to the ground by the mass of flies that are flying around you. You're both put on the defensive, and you now have the penalties of being taken down. And basically, there's a writhing mass of chirping metal above you and all around you. And it's around this time that Damien crashes to the ground, crashes into the river right here. His body bloodied by the fight that just occurred, and there's going to be those three creatures are going to start hovering lower and closer to the ground, and close enough for you to see them. This is what they look like, and
Sorry, I'm not gonna say their name.
So they're wearing they're wearing like black pieces of metal that seems to be incorporated into their bodies. In fact, it looks like their hands are more mechanical than they're organic. All three of them have an aura of supernatural energy around them, and yeah, the swarm of flies is basically like swirling around them. From the river, Damien shouts at you, "Retreat! They're too strong for all of us. They're too strong for us. We have to protect whatever they're after." What are your characters going to do? And we're going to have to roll initiative based on this. And no, actually, before we do this, let's take a short break.
A short break? Okay.
Yes.
I'm rolling for just using Roy.
Okay.
Because I'm getting sick and tired of not being able to use my goddamn thing that fucking counters hordes.
So we're not necessarily in a combat turn, but this is basically happening at the end of the last turn. The three creatures are floating down towards you, and one of them points towards Al's back, where the cloak is in tatters, and they say resistance is futile. Give us the cross, and you may yet live to become one of us. And you hear Damien is shouting about something about surviving and and he says, I think I might know where these guys are coming from. Just retreat. And everybody can roll an occult check to know a little bit about these guys. Okay. Luca was.
Yay, Roy!
Perfect, Roy. Go ahead. Okay.
That might be relevant to your backstory.
Maybe. That'd be funny.
You could be a robot one day.
They're not relevant to your backstory, unfortunately. But
I'm already a robot boy.
Okay? So in the archives of the Inquisition, there's a lot of knowledge about monsters and things like this. So and supernatural creatures that the Inquisition has had to fight. These are members of the Machine, which is an entity that has existed for a really long time. They've existed since around the time of the Solomon Empire, when magical technology was really widespread. And those guys, they're basically, you know you're going up against something that is a hive mind controlled by supercomputers called mothers, and that when these mothers awake, they are able to unleash hell on Earth. But it's really hard to wake them up, and while they're still dormant, their servants try to find any means necessary to awaken them, and they're able to take over human bodies the way that you're right now with those three people that you're up against. The Machine and the mothers count as a sleeper. The Inquisition counts sleepers as creatures that would risk destroying the world if they were ever to awaken from their sleep. So major dragons, aeons, and things like this are all considered sleepers, as long as they're not active.
How hard is it to kill one of these little shits? How hard is it to kill one of these little shits?
You know that they rely on psychic powers, and that they are hard to kill. You also know that they have the singular ability to be able to adapt. The more they fight against the more they take damage from a certain type of weapon, the more they are able to resist it. And same for spells and psychic powers and techniques. The more damage they take as a group, the more they resist that damage. So yeah, that's
a super fucking shitty ability.
Yeah, adaptation. If you kill 100 of the drones, they with a particular attack, they will have your attack will deal -40 damage to any members of the machine working that is within this group.
Oh man, they who is it? They almost have that against electricity damage.
Yeah, no, they do.
Yeah, they do have that against the electricity damage.
Oh, I thought he only killed 75.
No, he killed a shitload. Like, it went from, I think he killed, 75 of them or something like that.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, not bad. I think you have to kill 50 of them for them to gain that. That's what he said.
Anyways, yes, your characters are in a difficult position, so I'm just going to ask, what do you do? Are you going to keep fighting? Are you going to run? Are you going to what is each of you going to try to choose? And if some of you fight, we're going to roll initiative.
Well, I'm assuming my companions say fight. And I think Luca will, first thing, tell Al to give him the cross.
I give Luca the cross, and I'm really debating something right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm debating it, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't know what you're debating, but
You know what I'm debating.
no, I don't think I do. But anyways,
I rolled a 173 for initiative already.
okay.
Luca puts away his dagger to hold the cross while he's in combat,
Fuck this
and
world.
and he is going to say, not knowing that these are controlled humans, by the way, he's going to say, the only way you will take this cross is straight through the skull.
Okay.
Wait, are you gonna fucking use it as a weapon? Oh my god, it's gonna be great if you do.
By the way, you are able to, based on your strength, you are able to carry the cross in one arm and to hold a weapon in the other.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
That's what I have. I have the cross and my short sword and my shield.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
So
Alright.
yeah, you're taking a battle stance. What is
L.
L doing?
I rolled my initiative, but they go first.
Yes.
Okay.
At least,
By the way, can we
Roy.
say that L is actually being covered by the 15-foot tall giant suit of armor? Give her cover with stealth, hopefully.
Yes. There's if you want, when they arrive, you can be like you can be like stealthed, Jeff. And they're also like in the rain. What's it called? And it's at night. The only source of light are the torches you have lit that are around the crumbled house.
Building.
And another thing that I would like to specify is, the rain does not fall on the three figures in black that have arrived. It stops at what looks to be. They each seem to have a sort of bubble of psychic energy that is.
Do poisons affect them, by the way?
Poisons would definitely affect them. Yes.
Okay. I relay to the group. These are code names. These are sleeper.
Technocrats. The name of humans overtaken by the machine is for most of them is technocrats or technocrats.
That's good. I was worried I was gonna let the name slip, and I'm like, oh no.
These guys are technocrates. Their category is sleeper. Well,
not
kind of.
anymore.
Yeah.
They're awakers now.
Um,
How many rounds does it take for them to get down to the ground? Or does it look like it's going to take?
I have a range of 78 feet, so I can just start swinging.
It's going to take them 2 rounds, so you're able to recover from a total of 15 points of that penalty. But during this time, the flies are basically like confused, but flying up and like trying to stay out of range for this time.
So during that 3 rounds, I want to go into the debris
Mhm.
and just get complete obstruction from them. And then when I estimate that they should be about ready to land, then I want to actually try and use hide to get a view of them if possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, how many attacks should I get?
Hold on 1 second.
Because if it takes him 2 rounds to get down, then I would be able to get 4 attacks in theory.
Here's the thing. I think it'd be best if we started the combat once they're down, because if they start attacking you while they're still in the air, they're not going to be within reach of everyone.
Well,
Are you okay
yeah.
with seeing that your characters are taking a breath, or like taking a breath and listening to what the attackers have to say for a couple of turns,
Can
and
they
then?
attack us in the air?
Hmm?
Can they
Oh yeah,
attack us?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I'm just, yeah.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Okay. So.
As long as there's a deal that they will not fly up into the air.
I can't make promises.
They can float.
Yeah. So, real quick, for the hide versus their perception, it is at. I need to like find a page with all of the penalties and stuff like this real quick. Okay, so. What is your what is Gabriel's size? What's your Constitution plus Strength, Jeff?
My con plus strength, I think I want to say I think it had my size at 10.
10?
No, because
she's weirdly buff. I remember that.
It's so my final is 13.
Okay, so you're of medium size, so you don't get bonuses or penalties for your size.
But I have a size of 10 because it says you can choose to reduce it.
Okay.
But I think that still qualifies as medium anyway, right?
Yes, you need to be of size 9 or smaller to have the to have this hiding bonus. You're not doing it in front of them because they're not within like eyesight when you're hiding. You have an appropriate hiding place, so you get a plus 40. It is a shadowy area, so it is a plus 20, so you have a plus 16 total. It's not a featureless area, it has the ruins, so yeah, you have a total of plus 60 to your hide, whereas they have, let's see, they have a minus 30. It's raining, so minus 50. Yeah, okay. They're rolling at a minus 50. So notice.
So hide at plus 60?
Yes, please. And then, okay. They do not see you at all. You are you're stealthed, and the first attack that you do against them will be surprised. So they land on the floor. Both Luca and Roy, both Luca and Roy and Al are taking battle positions, and the swarm is ready to is maneuvering around you. So roll. You've already rolled initiative. I'm gonna roll mine real quick. If you haven't, now is the time. Oh, nice.
Oh, god damn it.
They need another like 20, 100 and... Wait, did they surprise you? No, you're not using an owl this time, are you?
No.
It's okay. They won't surprise us. And hopefully they'll go for me.
Yep, they are going to go for you.
You have the cross.
I do.
Okay. So they basically each of them. They're each going to target one power at you. The first. Okay, so they're basically going to extend their hands, and you're going to feel this sort of like pressure on all of your movements. Each of them is going to try to trap one of you, and the third one is going to try to pry the cross from your hands.
All right.
So there, roll for defense, both of you, please.
Going to get 1 fatigue on this. That's my last fatigue before I start taking penalties.
Okay. And
I'll take that 155. All right.
okay. So yeah, despite
Shit.
all right. So they are unable to trap you. You are able to block their oncoming psychic powers before they reach you. But the third one is going to make another attack. So I need Luca to roll at a minus 25.
Isn't it 30 for the first defense?
It's simpler if we just do it in minus 25s each time.
I'm cool with that.
Okay, so so you are hit. I need to roll for potential real quick. 140. Perfect. Uh, so this is going to be does not count as an impact. It doesn't count as a shield. Um, t- 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 uh, yeah, it's. Let's see. The cross weighs a bunch. What is your strength, Luca? Please.
It's a total of 8.
Okay. All right. So the third psychic power does reach the cross because you weren't able to dodge. So you are going to make an opposed strength check against the value of their psychic power, and
I think a
yep.
14 is fairly low. Oh, well, never. Hey, nice shit, dude.
Okay, so you are able to keep the cross under your arm despite the tug on that despite the fact that they're like tugging at you. Next up on the initiative, I believe, is Roy. No, wait.
Yeah, I think I'm next.
Okay, so if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
L did 159. Luca did.
I did 173.
Okay, it's you first, then L, then Luca.
Can you use psychic powers if you're trapped?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the negative for area attacks again?
I believe it's a minus 40, but I can pull up
Oh yeah,
the.
but I do it as half. That's right.
Why do you do it as half?
Because monofilament weapons.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I'm going to
So it's a minus 25.
really?
So, because the total penalty is minus 50.
Okay.
So you're going to try to attack all three of them?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. 90.
And they need to pass a notice check.
Do what?
They need to pass a notice check to see the monofilaments.
Oh, you are correct. Also, it's a negative 20 for me. Oh wait, hold on. No. Sorry, that's for trapping.
So, let's see. They're vulnerable to magic. They don't see magic, so I don't even roll. I just don't see your attack.
Nice. So you're completely blind.
Yep,
You're legally blind.
they take a minus 90 to their defense, meaning I rolled 75 for each of them to defend. Go ahead and roll your
I'm doing
attack.
2 attacks. I'm doing 2 area attacks.
Okay. Wow. Okay, that's pretty nice. 309. They rolled. I think I said 75. So let's see.
Just fucking.
309 minus 75.
Man, you really did suggest a good artifact, though.
Yes, thank you.
Invisible universe.
I liked your character concept, and I thought this artifact might fit well with it. So you do. What is 230%? Oh no, wait. How much armor do you ignore?
I ignore.
3 points.
I ignore 2 points from soft armor, 1 point from AT armor, and then my quality ignores 1 AT.
Okay.
Are they wearing soft armor or hard armor?
They. I believe it's the. I believe it counts as soft.
So -3 to cut.
Oh, okay. So they only have an armor. So they only do a -10. So you do 220% of your weapon's damage. Oh well, you're.
165 to each of them.
Okay. Well, this fight was easier than I thought it would be.
Wait, does my second attack not even go through? Does
No,
it
you.
just-
Yes, you are. You actually, with your magical strings, are able to overcome their psychic projections, and you cut across all of their bodies. Here's what happens as their fissures start to appear all over their body, and there seems to be like a sort of vortex effect on their bodies, and they just explode as if their bodies had been housing a ton of materials. So daggers, stones, and dynamite sticks and things like this just burst out of their bodies, attacking all around them. So they're actually going to do an area attack, and since all three of them are triggered, let me have just a look. I think you're all within the area of effect.
By the way, can I just point out the fact that a High Templar couldn't take out one of them?
No, he was
And I
fighting.
just
He was fighting against all three, and they had the initiative on him. So
yes, and they had the initiative
60.
on.
60 feet. So everybody except L has to defend against 3 attacks at a difficulty of 180.
Oh boy, here we go, and I am at -50 right now
Why?
because I've taken 2 attacks.
No, it doesn't count. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
believe.
No, it does. It does.
Oh, it does.
Okay.
Oh,
Here we go. Number 1.
The same turn.
What kind of is it? Impact, like an explosion or fire?
It's going to count as piercing. They're actually throwing all of the weapons that they had
shrapnel.
stored in their body.
That makes. I thought I was being smart with impact, but no, that makes more sense.
Okay.
You know, I feel like the next roll is gonna be bad, to be honest. So I'm gonna use it on that open roll.
Oh,
You get-
but
Bad.
I don't have my armor on still, so I have 0 armor
Yeah,
unless it hits my head.
Mm-hmm.
Which is still very bad. But
Well, if it hits my head, I actually take no damage because my head armor is better than my regular armor.
Yes.
Okay, so that would be 30% from the first one, if I may calculate myself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do I max out at -90 like usual?
Hmm?
Do I max
I-
out at -90 like normal multiple attack penalties do?
since we're doing it as 25,
No, it
which is 100.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. You max out for a number of attacks at -90. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Something has happened, and my 7 button does not want to press.
So
There it is.
Roy, you're put on the defensive by this, but thanks to your armor, you're able to take those hits.
Same with Al.
Okay.
I take a total of 30 plus 40, 120% damage.
Okay. Uh, how much life points do you have?
I have 90, and if you want to go into negatives, if you do, I don't know if you do, you have to roll to not die, or if you just have a certain amount of negative hit points. I can take.
Yeah, how much can you take? I think it's 10 or 5 times your constitution.
Yes, I can take 139. No, 129 more damage before I just die.
Okay. That's good because the explosion does 100 damage each, and you took 120%.
120.
So you took 120%. So you are that's a critical. That's going to I think at the very least we're going to count that the last one is a critical.
Okay, the last one was 50 damage.
Yep. So go ahead and roll for physical resistance.
Thank goodness I am secretly a moose.
Moose.
Oh yeah, I got that. I'm a good moose.
Okay. Yeah. So you resist the critical, but basically the blast of the explosion just propels you backwards, and you fall unconscious. Wait, actually, no. I need to check that.
I'm at negative 10 HP.
Yes. So you did roll to resist the critical. So you are like hanging on to life. You're hanging on to consciousness, but barely.
Yes.
You're basically hanging on as thin of a line as my wires are.
Okay.
No, I still have a couple more hit points before I die. I could take 30. I could take 29 more damage.
But
Trip on a rock and die.
Luca, you are on the defensive, and so is Roy, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. The swarm of the flies, just like they have this moment where when they're like flying in a very frantic way, like they're completely frenzied. They all seem to be like buzzing around in circles for a couple of seconds, and then they all freeze. They stop moving. They stop flying in midair, and some of the ones that had been destroyed by the lightning blast previously have finished reforming. It's been enough turns, and the swarm is basically back to full life points.
Never roll initiative.
No, they haven't acted this turn. They are.
But I figured that they would have had to recharge or whatever. Like,
No,
their turn
they're
is just getting back into order because they were in chaos.
basically they were under the control of the other creatures, but they immediately resumed like mission standards, and when there's no leader, and they're finishing their mission, which is
Exterminate all life.
no, they are attempting to grasp the what's it called, the cross out of your finger.
Right.
Yeah, the guy with negative 10 HP is holding.
Yeah.
I get a negative 10 penalty for being at negative 10. However, I am actually at no other penalties.
You also have the fact that you took more than 4 attacks this turn.
That is true. I meant like yes.
Yes. So go ahead and roll in defense, and if you roll higher than me, I don't take the cross.
Hold on a minute. I am at 60.
Okay.
They don't get a +3.
Basically, like, yeah, they're able to wrench the cross from your fingers and start flying upwards.
Wait. I'm sorry. But don't I get a strength or dexterity roll to hold on, like in most disarming attacks?
Yeah, that would count as disarming. Okay. If you want, let's.
I want to fatigue it twice. I'm gonna go to negatives, but it's my cross. I promised. Rah. Okay, that's all right. What was their dexterity?
16 ain't too bad.
As a mass, they are going to get a bonus to their strength.
I would assume as much.
Okay.
Roll low, you stupid bugs.
Roll a 1. Rah.
Okay, let's do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't. I bet we would have been okay. I just like that. He's almost dead, but he's not gonna let go of the cross.
That's you guys are doing much better than I thought you would in this fight. Jeff, you haven't been hit by the blast because you were protected by the rubble, and the swarm still hasn't noticed your new position. But they are, but they seem to be trying to grab the crystal cross at all costs now that they're leaderless. What do you do?
So the 3 figures that descended, they are all down, right?
Yes,
Yes, I killed them.
And
they exploded.
I just got very lucky.
right. And how much of this swarm is actually there?
All of it. The damage that they took, because of their repairing crystals, the ones that were killed by Damien are now have now like repaired because nobody attacked their crystals. But basically, they're able to repair themselves after a certain amount of turn.
Okay.
Dude, I really don't want to use my whip.
So
I really don't want to use my whip.
So they don't appear to be like living creatures?
No, they're completely mechanical.
Okay, so the poison shouldn't affect them, the poison globe.
These ones, no, unfortunately.
We killed the ones that were poisonable.
Yes.
And what is the Inquisitor laying in the stream doing?
Talking, I hope.
Roll for notice. Does get a minus 200, but
Out of curiosity, can
hide
my character roll notice?
Sure.
I doubt it's gonna work, but yeah, figured.
Oh, by the way, each of you are rolling at minus 50 because of the darkness and it's raining, and he has a plus 60 because
Is he trying to actively hide?
Yes.
Oh my god, what a pussy.
He knows we're gonna go and punch him in a minute. Maybe, maybe not.
All right. Wait. Only 100? Wait. No, he's got 120. What? I didn't fill out his character sheet correctly. It would appear. So, and
Damn.
at minus 200 plus. Okay.
Oh, he's at criticals, isn't he?
He was. I think it's been enough turns that he's gotten rid of most of the criticals by now.
Well, he was also, I assume, damaged by these guys, which would have most likely dealt critical damage.
Yep. L, you can see that he is he got up and he is like moving into the woods basically, and he's trying to hide, but thanks to your senses and the fact that you were keeping an eye out, basically, unlike the technocrites, you're able to spot the movement as he's moving away, and he does have his head turned towards the fight, as if he's able to like perceive it, despite despite like the bandages on top of his eyes. So what do you do?
Take it out. Target and eliminated.
Well,
Oh no.
what is it possible for me to come into his clear line of view without revealing myself to the swarm?
I think based on what you've seen of his perception, you might be within his like what counts as his line of sight. You might be within his perception range, and since he was able to like feel your heartbeat from the distance he was, like if you spoke he'd be able to hear you pretty much.
All right, then I'll kind of like look at him and whisper and like gesture like what? Like I like tell me what to do.
Mm. There's he's starting to move in. He's starting to move towards the east of where you're currently at, as if he's basically, but he doesn't give an answer that you can hear from where you are.
Oh yeah, we don't have the perception.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna run over and start swinging at the swarming creatures trying to get
I'm
across.
actually surprised you're not killing him
All right.
or just paralyzing him.
So I have a suggestion for Gabriella. Your style of attack is really good for taking down the crystals of the swarm once they've been destroyed by the other player characters. Would you be okay with? I think it might. I think we can showcase this more. Either if you wait a bit this turn until the others have dealt some damage, or if you what's it called? Or as soon as the next turn if you want to attack now. What do you do?
That's fine. Yeah, because I didn't actually go yet this round, so.
Yeah. Are you okay with waiting until they've destroyed some so you can attack the crystals? Okay,
Sure.
cool. Perfect.
If
So,
I may ask, why does L stop attacking? I thought that L was gonna stop. Oh, L was gonna kill him and die.
Actually, no. I just realized something. They are. It's the end of this turn, and everybody else has acted. So you might as well attack. It's not. It's not going to have an impact
Gotcha.
because it's the end. You're the last one acting. So
All right.
when you attack them right now, their defense is 0 because they didn't perceive you when you were hiding, and you're surprising them basically. So what do you?
I'm just thinking though, like this, if the swarm is back up to full, that means there's like 100 of them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I'll just get the 2 closest ones to me.
Okay.
Take the -20 to each attack.
Okay, perfect. And each of them is going to have a 0 defense.
I thought it was 25 for additional attacks.
Is it?
So technically, it depends on the size of your weapons, and those rules are a bit too complicated. So I don't always like take the time to apply them. But because Jeff's weapons are smaller, it's only a -20.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. And the second attack. So you deal 340% of your weapon's damage, which is?
Let me see. They are 35.
35. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's you destroy 2 of them.
Nice.
Okay. And they take another 109. Okay. Yeah. Okay. New initiative, everyone.
Initiative.
They are. Each of them is a warrior acrobat, so they have as high an initiative bonus as assassins do.
Hey, that was pretty good for me though.
Yep.
I was gonna
So-
say, yeah, I can put it on defensive, and I was like, wait, you can't put a horde on defensive. Fuck.
Unfortunately, no.
You can put a horde on dead though.
True. That's
True.
what I plan to do.
So Roy is second to act. L is first. You want to basically the two that you destroyed, their crystals have fallen to the ground along with all of the metallic bits, and it's already starting the regeneration process, trying to rebuild itself piece by piece. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm attacking each of them.
Okay. They don't get a defense. Because you do individual attacks. I'm not gonna make you roll because you're just attacking something that's unarmed, and your damage is more than enough to just destroy those two crystals. So those two won't be able to come back. So now it's Roy's turn.
Roy!
Area attack is how much again? 25, I believe.
I believe for you it's 25 based on what you've told me.
For most people, are
believe
50.
it is, right? Let me check again.
If you have the module, it is 25.
He doesn't have the module. He has the cancer.
Oh.
Um,
Well, I hope he doesn't.
the string weapons.
Oh,
Trapping, almost
yeah,
invisible,
I think I was thinking of trapping.
perforator, distance attack, and blocked. So no, you take a full minus 50
Jesus Christ.
for the attack.
Alright. That's fine.
And you do multiple attacks?
What's their defense? Yeah, may as well.
Okay.
Oh, they actually don't have any defense against me unless they can see supernatural. Anyways.
They do have a defense, but they're at minus 90. They don't, because they don't see it.
Oh, true.
10.
Negative
10.
90
So you
defense.
do 200. No, you do 320% of your weapon's damage. What's 320% of your weapon's
240.
damage? Okay. All right. So you're able to take down 4 of them.
Nice. Oh, wait, and it's
no.
modified.
Yeah. You're able to attack 5 of them, so it's multiplied by 4. That's
960.
960. Okay. All right. So, 3 and okay. You took
50,
out
about 16.
a bunch of them. But currently, you took out in this attack about a third of what the Inquisitor was able to do earlier. So I think you took out like 15 or 20, something along those lines. Next up is it them first and then?
I believe it's them and then Luca.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. They are going to do.
Defensive. I said, cool, I can put you on the defensive. Just fucking.
Let's see. So they're each going to attack one of you. I think they're going to separate into 3 groups of 25. Those that are left, and each is going to attempt to do one attack against Luca in an attempt to take the cross away from him. So you're going to have to roll 3 defenses against my 25.
All right.
Each of us has to roll a defense, correct?
No, it's all aimed at Luca. They're basically now they're in sacrifice mode where they don't care about their own safety. They're only caring about completing the mission.
All right. May I passively berserk?
Yeah, sure. You can activate the berserker now.
Okay, I'll activate Berserker.
Okay.
I'll take no penalties from fatigue. And then, hold on, here's the first one. Second one. Oh, nope. That second one's 30 less. Can we just say
Okay.
that one's 30 less?
Yeah.
Or 25 less? Okay.
So hold on. Let me type it out. It's 180.
Yes.
Okay.
So 148, 180, and 134, and that one is correctly. So I have to make 3 checks
Yep.
to resist.
Against their strength. So the first check, you are inside of 200 for the first. You are inside of 100 for the first check. So that means +3 on your first check.
All right, I'm not going to spend the fatigue on this one. Rah!
Okay.
Yeah, screw you, bugs.
So they failed the first one. You also have a +3 on the second one.
All right.
But on
Rah!
okay.
Sorry for making goofy sounds. I'm excited.
That's perfect. You're able to hold on to the crystal cross, and the last attack is 270. So I beat you by more than 100. So you have no bonus for this.
I will spend 2 more fatigue.
Okay.
Oh shoot! No, I'm tired, and I have no cross.
Yeah, the last like the two groups basically slam into you and try to get you to let go of the cross, and the last group is able to basically to seize it from your hands and lift it up in the air.
They cannot move away.
They can because
How?
because he's been put on the defensive, so there's no way he can attack.
Yes, but they don't have any more actions.
Oh yeah. No, they're not like moving out of combat range. They're
Okay.
just lifting it above their heads. And next turn, they're going to take it away.
That said, I do think they probably have more actions.
I mean, like as a unit, they that's about all they can do this turn. And
Initiative.
new initiative because Luca is on the defensive. And they are spending fatigue on this initiative, which would put
Oh
me
man!
at 160. 162.
Luca almost got initiative in this fight.
Okay. Roy is first. Okay.
Though, by the way, those are with negative 75s.
What?
Oh wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
They're with
Wait.
negative nothing 5s.
yeah, you didn't put in the negative at all.
No, I literally did.
It says you didn't on the roll recap.
Interesting.
So yeah. Okay. So 153 minus 75 and yeah, it's going to be minus 85 because of the 10 points of defense that they do get. 165. Yeah. Okay, so you do 80. You do 150% of your weapons damage times 4.
600% damage.
600.
Well, 600% damage total.
Okay.
Just to make the numbers look cool.
450.
Okay, 450. So you are
I'm specifically
yeah.
targeting the ones that are holding the cross.
Aha! Yes. So, so you are able to destroy 20 of them in the group of 25 that is carrying the cross away, but there's still 5 that remains, and 5 of them, because they're because of their size, is enough to lift it. Next on the initiative is L. L. The floor is scattered with crystals that are slowly starting the process of regeneration, but on the other hand, there's still 5 of those flies carrying your precious cross cargo away. What do you do?
Does it look like it's going to take all 5 of them to carry that cross, maybe?
Yes. Currently, it's. They'd be able to lift the cross if there were only 3 of them, based on their strength.
What did
But
we
if
what
you,
did we guesstimate that the cross weighed?
it's pretty huge, but they're able to carry stuff that's pretty heavy because of their.
Gotcha.
Like,
So what do we guesstimate the weight of the cross to be around approximately?
I said it reached about the waist, someone's waist, right?
Yes, you said it was L's waist.
Yeah, L's waist. That in crystal, I am not very good at estimating weights in general, but I'd say that weights.
Probably be about 100 pounds.
I could carry 100 pounds in one hand as this character.
100 pounds, maybe 120.
I don't know pounds at all, but I can guess
Oh,
it's
Kilograms?
kilograms is like 1 kilogram per 3 pounds ish, kinda.
You were estimating it at 40 kilograms. Then
Yeah, about
it's
40
about
to
accurate.
50 maybe.
It's more towards the low end of this, so it's
Okay.
40 kilos.
Got it. Okay, so I'm going to run right at Luca, and I'm going to yell up, and I'm going to acrobatically jump on top of Luca and spring up and grab a hold of the cross.
Okay.
If you
Adding
would
my
let me
weight.
add my, if I could totally add my throwing bonus to that, that would be
Yes.
awesome.
Absolutely.
I
Luca, you can put your hands together to give him a bit of a foothold. Your feat of strength is going to boost his jumping. So,
Okay.
or if you don't have any points in feats of strength, you can just roll for strength itself.
I have some points in each strength. It's not my best stat, but I have some. You have to have some if you're a weaponizer.
Yeah.
So do you want jump roll then?
Yes. Jump roll for your feats of strength for.
Okay.
I,
I have 1
I'm-
fatigue left. If I spend it, does it mean I'm fatigued?
300.
You start getting penalties when you reach 4 in fatigue. But if you spend your fatigue point this turn, you won't. If you spend it, you won't have the penalty for fatigue this turn. But the penalty for being at 0 is pretty big, unfortunately.
Oh,
It's okay.
Um,
You weren't aware of this rule before the beginning of this fight, so I'm not going to apply that penalty. But as soon as you go below 4, you start having penalties.
Except for if you're Luca. By the way, that 300 is obviously wrong. I put a plus 35 in, or I put a plus. Wait. Oh yeah, I put a plus 40, I think, into the fatigue points I wanted to spend.
Okay.
Oh, I put plus 15 into the fatigue points. So, not spending 15 fatigue points.
Yeah, that'd be amazing though.
What's your score?
90 is the thing below. I can also technically throw things 60 feet.
Okay. Yeah. So you, because you succeeded by 2 degrees of success, by 2 difficulties, you give a plus 20 to L's jump roll.
Very good. Her agility is probably good enough.
Okay. 85. Yep. Okay. So yeah, basically, then this brings you like high enough in the air that you're actually a bit above the 5 flies. You reach an advantageous position, which is actually going to give you a bonus to your attack. Let's. special combat situation. See, you are what's it called? You have the higher ground. You get a plus 20 on your attack thanks to your jump. So what do you do?
Okay, well, I guess if I try to land on the crossbar of the cross and attack them, if that will work, I'll do that. Actually, what I'll do is I will jump on it, like with my legs going on either side of the vertical piece over the horizontal pieces to make sure I grab a hold of it, like with my legs while attacking with my stiletto.
Okay. You have like an almost inhuman level of agility. So you are able to balance on this precariously. And your added weight is making it really hard for them to keep the cross. So go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll to attack them.
Okay, so with 130 attack, can I make 2 attacks at a penalty on each? Or just the one? Okay.
Penalty of minus 20 on each of them. Yes. Oh, actually, it's 45 because you had to jump. You did another action, so you have minus 45 on each attack.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay. What is 190% of your weapon's damage? What is your weapon's damage?
35.
35. Okay. 35 and 110. No, wait. 190. That would be divided. Yeah, that would be 66 damage on both of the attacks combined. So you're able to make one of them explode, and the other one is damaged. You've hit its mechanical eye that is bursting out with electricity and sparks as it has this sort of mechanical scream. And it's now their turn or Lucas' turn.
Well, now we're all falling, right? Because I just added 92 pounds to the weight they're carrying. You said 3 of them were required to carry the cross, which means approximately 6 of them would be required to carry me and the cross.
You are falling, which means I'm going to ask you an acrobatics check to break the fall, but it's going to be a pretty easy check because you're not falling very far.
Okay.
But you do have the minus 50 of you've acted previously this turn with 2 actions. Falling rules. And they're also... Okay, so if you fall from... Okay, 15 feet. Falling from 15 feet is a moderate difficulty, which you have not reached, unfortunately. So, and it's an acrobatics check, to break the fall. So the base damage is 40. You won by 60. So that is going to be. You take 20 damage from the fall, unfortunately. Those
That's
were
a crit.
go ahead and roll physical resistance.
You said 20, right? 20
yes.
Okay.
But I'm rolling plus 20. You're rolling just your normal physical resistance.
Does that also have a minus or anything, or is that straight roll?
No. Oh, wait. What just happened? Okay, I'll redo this.
I take the 1. I accept it.
No, it didn't roll anything. It didn't. But
yes.
you resist the critical hits. Basically, it only deals some damage without impeding your actions. You don't strain your ankle as you fall. It just the impact with the ground like sends shivers through your muscles. Um,
Not as
and
stylish as I had hoped for.
but you still got them to land the cross once again. And who do I have initiative? I have 132, and Luca has 128. So unfortunately, the last 50 of them are going to move in to seize the cross, and with no one. Okay, so L, you've used your actions, and Luca doesn't have the initiative, and Roy's used his actions. So nobody is able to land a hit on them as they swarm against like around the cross and start to raise it into the air and out of your reach. But yeah, and they start to fly towards the east. In the same direction that Damien was had started moving in, but they're still within range of ranged weapons. So new initiative. Oh no, wait. So before this, sorry, Lucas, you get to act.
I do, and I have daggers.
You have.
I do have some daggers. I'm
Yes.
going to use the multiple throwing weapons rule. Let me see. Daggers have a thing of 50, so I can throw 3 daggers. I have 5.
Kill you.
Okay.
Actually, I lost one, so I have 4. I have one more after this.
All right.
I have negative 10 for being hurt, but plus 10 for being really mad. So
You are attacking them from behind, so their defenses are dropped. They have a minus 80. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll.
fumble.
Ha! Sorry.
I'm very tired.
Yeah, this fight has been taking its toll on your characters.
Do I get to throw my other 2?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's just that you failed your attack with the first. 119.
If you-
So you do 170, 150. You do 320% of your weapon's damage.
Okay. Roll.
It's so nice because since all of you have different weapons, they're not adapting very well to how many to each individual weapon.
True. It is true. 128.
Okay. You are able to destroy 2 and damage 1, but I believe it's 43 of them that are still intact are managed to carry the cross.
Yes.
Are still able to carry the cross. New initiative. What is everyone's movement base?
My movement is 9.
Okay, no, I mean, like, what is your agility score? Is more important to go
Yes,
like
9.
Okay. So, Jeff.
8.
Okay, 9, 8, and
Oh, and more 8.
okay. They have a natural flight of 10, so they're basically they're able to fly faster than you can run. So they start like heading away from your characters, mostly upwards. And but they're still within reach for this. Okay, I rolled an 8. So, Jeff, you surprised them. What do you do?
Nothing would be terribly relevant to them. So what I'll do is I'll just take my stilettos and destroy a couple of the crystals laying on the ground here.
All right, perfect. Yeah, you. Each time you strike one of those crystals, it shatters in a burst of supernatural energy, but it doesn't like hurt. It's not like like a trap that's exploding. But you see basically like there's a sort of a telepathy, psychic power, basically uniting the entire swarm, and each time that you destroy one of them, it sends shivers throughout the entire web of connected strings of telepathy, and like you feel like your ability to see the supernatural also extends to your ears, and you can like feel almost like screams of pain from millions of voices, from millions of like tiny voices every time that you destroy one of them. So go ahead and make 2 attack rolls, and they have no defense and no armor for this. I just want to see how many you can destroy.
Right. Each at minus 20.
Yes, please.
By the way, I can actually keep up with them
How so?
because of the fact that my weapon actually has 78 feet range, and then my movement is 9, which means that I'm actually only
Okay.
getting about 5 or 10 feet behind them each round. There'll be a point where I get behind them, but
unless if you're flying upwards at the same time, there's going to be more of a distance, of a growing distance gap.
Have Al throw you, and then hopefully catch you.
So with a flight quality of 10, I move 150 feet per turn, which means that they're going to be out of range of your strings next turn, basically.
They won't be out of range of my daggers, but also I won't have any more daggers.
Jeff, what's your damage again?
35.
Okay, so you are able to destroy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're able to destroy 5 of those crystals, and there's still about like 15 left on the floor around you. Okay. I know, like, if somebody, to the people listening to the recording, like, I might be a bit inconsistent with the numbers, but I'm winging a lot of the math some of the times, because just doing it like exactly by the books would make it a bit would just make the fight much longer than it has to be. Okay. So our dear friend. Who's on the initiative next?
me.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're currently that was Al. Yeah.
It's
So
Roy's
plan.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good plan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna trap the crystal.
You're going to what?
Trap it. So basically, the idea is to basically pin the crystal against a tree as they're flying by it using one of my wires.
No, they're flying too high to. They're flying basically too high.
You said
trap
next
it.
turn they're out of range.
Yeah, they've already traveled upward. Yeah, basically they've already traveled to their maximum distance last turn, but they're still within range of your strings with that, because they were going like a bit east and a bit upwards at the same time.
Yeah, that's.
But they're above the tree line, basically. If you want to trap them, you do have the other option, which is basically to trap them with your strings, meaning that if they do keep flying, you will be taken upwards with them.
Look, it's like they're flying away on a bunch of pigeons.
Oh, I meant to add a what's it called, but that's fine. It's whatever. Fucking low rolls probably just gonna be the death of me.
I was gonna say you also might try to disarming attack on them.
It's gonna get a heavy negative because they can't see my strings.
Yes, they can't see your strings, and they are flying away. So you do So you do 140, which means you are within the bracket where nobody has any penalty for the dexterity versus your dexterity or strength versus my dexterity or agility, and my dexterity is 9.
And I have a bonus, right? I get a bonus for being so high?
No, you need to roll more than 200% to get a bonus. That's why I said nobody got a bonus or a penalty.
Okay. 15.
Okay. So you are able basically to cause them. It's only by 3 points, so it's a minor. Um, so they are getting the partially immobilized penalty, which gives them a gives them a penalty to their dodging and everything else, but they're still able to carry the cross with this. And basically, they start to lift Roy up in the air with them.
Oh boy.
That was your full attack.
Um,
You didn't have the 20 penalty. Okay. So yeah, you with one of your hands, you're being lifted up into the air. Luca, it's your turn.
I have one more dagger.
Okay, so you throw the dagger at them. Go ahead and make a roll.
Where the heck? Why are these divided? Okay.
Minus 20.
I don't take any penalties on this one.
Yep. So you do 180% of your weapon's damage.
That is approximately 72.
72. You destroy one and wound another. Yep. Okay.
Can I leap and grab onto Roy's feet?
You didn't mention that you I was expecting you to do this, but you attacked instead, and you attacked at no penalty. So I'd say no.
Hold on a minute. Don't multiple
Wait.
action penalties take place consecutively? Like they don't? You don't just get the penalty to everything?
I don't think they. I don't think they do. I think you need to. Hold on.
I will say that the way you were talking about it, that's always made sense to me. But I thought the actual ruling was otherwise.
I can check. Give me just 1 second. Looking for rules. The role-playing game.
Yes.
By the way, we are playing a little bit in overtime because I want to finish this scene.
Yes.
But that's fine. But it won't I won't count it as more than 4 hours. Okay, actions. Okay, during a combat turn, the character can normally perform only one single active action. If he wishes to try to execute further actions, it suffers an accumulative penalty of minus 25 to the abilities used. For example, if someone wishes to run at full movement value at an enemy, attack the enemy, and use the search secondary ability to scan the area for hidden enemies, he would run without a penalty, make the attack at minus 25, and try the search at minus 50. Okay, so you are able to do this action at minus 25.
Would it be jump or climb?
It would be a jump check, and I think your difficulty is going to be 80.
Okay, well, I can make that without open rolling.
Oh.
Then
technically.
Cross your fingers.
Actually, no, I can't do it without open rolling. I forgot I have an additional negative 10. Bah! No, I leap and fail.
Yeah. It's not one of those things you're trained for, so you try to leap, you try to grab his ankles, but you miss.
I have jump training. I just have bunches of negatives.
All right. So, on my turn, okay, there's 25 of them that are going to focus on this. So, and they're spending fatigue on this attack. Okay. Oh!
Oh, no. Robot fatigue.
If this was a an
Do
attack
robots
against
have
one of you.
fatigue?
Oh, wait, hold on one second. Oh no, they're tireless. Never mind. That's -30, so it's 350. Um,
That would still be fine.
okay. They are attacking you, either your strings or you. But I believe they're attacking the strings and
Okay. What's called did you count the penalty for being partially immobilized?
uh, mm, they basically, like, you're immobilizing the ones that are carrying the cross, not the ones who you're not trapping all of them at once. Okay. A defender can make a new check each turn. Blah blah blah. Distance attack. Where is?
Your noodles block for themselves.
They have.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have a fortitude.
So put on the defensive, but you know.
You also have the penalty for being partially immobilized because you're immobilizing someone.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that rule. That rule's so stupid though. Oh my god.
It makes sense though.
No, it makes sense if you're holding someone with your hand to try to hold them. It makes sense that
If you're attacking someone else who you're not holding down, that makes full fucking sense. But if you're attacking the person who you're holding down, you're in control. Like,
all right. They have a okay. You're a quality +5, so your strings can take. Hold on 1 second. I want to use the proper rules for this. Attacking the strings.
they have to
Using a
roll
directed
breakage.
attack with a -40 attack ability, and they have a certain fortitude depending on the. Okay, it's a magical thing. Okay.
They have to roll breakage in order to
Yep.
do it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. They managed to break your magical filaments, and you fall to the ground.
The fortitude is 30.
Hmm?
The fortitude is 30.
No, I believe the fortitude is 20.
No, it's 30 because when it's +5 quality, it adds +10 to fortitude.
I'm aware, but the rules specify that hold on 1 second.
That's actually the old rules too. It only gives +5 now.
Okay.
It would still not break it.
No. The way the cancer weapons is set up is that it's written to take into account the +5 quality that is necessary to have those filaments, and yeah. So those strings are broken, and you start to fall. Roll for acrobatics to cushion your fall, please.
For fuck's sake.
You bumped into your mic, which sounded perfectly as if your character was crash landing.
That's what I heard too.
I still technically have strings, don't I? Because it's an artifact. The strings just come back.
They recreate them thanks to the magic, but right now we're going to say that your reach is penalized for a couple of turns. But
well, yeah.
Okay. 63.
I'm just saying that I could gain a bonus by using the strings, possibly.
Mm-hmm. you have a penalty to this check because you already played, because you already did actions this turn. So, okay, that's going to be a -40. That's going to be a 20, which means you take 60% of the fall damage, which I believe is 40. So, hold on. 0.4 times 60. And you take 24 damage from the fall as you crash back. I think you're going to like land into a tree and fall onto a couple of branches that break before you reach the ground where Elle and Luca are. As your characters watch with your ability to see the supernatural as the crystal cross is been dragged away from where you are, and in the background we see Gabriella finishing off the parts of the horde, making sure that they will never return. And it's on this note that I think we're going to end today's encounter. I think you guys did really well. I didn't expect you to. Basically, like those technocrites were level 6s, but their points weren't, and they're supposed to like build up in power the more you fight them. But because you managed to eliminate them pretty quickly, I didn't get to use their full potential. So, I think
a lot of EXP.
Oh yeah. Since the 3 of them were level 6s, this is a fight that was really hard. So you're going to get. It's a very difficult fight. We're going to count it as absurd. Yeah, you get 20 points just for the fight, and I think I'm going to give you a total of. You all get a total of 40 points for today's session. Everything included.
Hold on a minute.
Okay, and next week we'll do the hunt for. We'll keep going the hunt for the Crystal Cross. I hope everybody's had fun today.
I did.
Yes.
Even though I'm almost dead.
If I just would have used Roy earlier, I would have just been able to stop that all those drones, which is obnoxious.
I also think you would have been able to do it.
The hunt for the cross and the hunt for Damien.
Yeah, they are heading in the same direction after all.
Excellent. The false Inquisitor.
Hi everyone, and thank you for watching this video. If you want to keep up with all of the adventures on this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so you can get a notification each time we upload the next episode of this story. And it would be very nice of you to like and share the video to help this channel grow. Have a nice day everyone.